Said what you said. If you mean what you said, then stand on it. Oh, stand on it. Oh, stand on it. Oh, stand on it. You said what you said. If you mean what you said, then stand on it. Oh, stand on it. Oh, stand on it. Oh, stand on it.
Stand on it. Media, we make you stand on it. We tell the truth because it's a demand for it. You know the business. I might even ran for it. They call him the press before he even ran to it.
You said what you said. If you mean what you said, then stand on it. Oh, stand on it. Stand on it. Oh, stand on it. You said what you said. If you mean what you said, then stand on it. Oh, stand on it. Oh, stand on it. Oh, stand on it. 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 Said what you said. If you mean what you said, then stand on it. Oh, stand on it. Oh, stand on it. Oh, stand on it.
Duchess, how you doing, Queen? We're gonna get to this real soon. Real soon. Real soon. Let them just come in.
Said what you said. If you mean what you said, then stand on it. Oh, stand on it. Oh, stand on it. Oh, stand on it.
Stand on it. Media, we make you stand on it. We tell the truth because it's a demand for it. You know the business. I might even ran for it. They call him the press before he even ran.
Just trying to get it pulled up on my
You said what you said. If you mean what you said, then stand on it. Oh, stand on it. Stand on it. Oh, stand on it. You said what you said. If you mean what you said, then stand on it. Oh, stand on it. Oh, stand on it. Oh, stand on it. 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 Stand on it.
There it goes.
Stand on it. Stand on it.
Salute. Yeah. See, we're gonna try this again today. Golly. Man, welcome to Stand on the Media. Salute to the Stand on the Media family out there. Man, we tried this 3 times earlier today. The internet just wasn't acting right. It didn't want to show me no love. I don't know what was going on. I get to talking about these informants and point things out, and she get to acting crazy. Renegade Duchess, salute to you, Queen. Happy to see you. Happy to see you in the chat. Yeah, I am. I'm still gonna run a couple of the videos that I had in the queue earlier. I still want to run them, and then I got some more content I'm gonna run. But yeah, it's a lot of content to get to today. The content was content. I was busy today, so I really couldn't do the videos like I wanted to. So, here we are. Hold on. I'm trying to get the chat on my TV real quick. I'm fucking up. I'm messing up. It's all Renegade Duchess' fault. I'm messing up. Anyway, how you doing today, Renegade? How was your day? How's everybody doing out there? I see that Wack has just suddenly he has found OG Wacko's case number and docket information now. He just fell out the sky, Walter. Fell out the sky, landed in his lap, nestled it on in there, Man, he's a hell of an investigator, ain't he? Sheesh. He found it. He said he found it. Yeah. How much y'all want to bet that he already had it the whole time? That's the reason why he went at him. I'm just saying. I'm just speculating here. I don't know. I don't be knowing these things, man. But anyway, we're going to get to this content right now, though. I don't know when the internet gonna kick me again. So we're gonna listen to Wack100 cooking Jim Jones and Maino after the 50 Cent says that they were squatting and they owed $250,000 for rent Wack, he's always a hater, and what he's going to do is fan the flames. He's been trying to get at Maino for the longest. 50 Cent is a more difficult piece on the puzzle for the feds to get at. There's a lot of controversy going on around my man 50. I haven't seen anything that showed that he did any telling anywhere. I have never seen it. So I'm never gonna jump out the window until I actually see something. But he's diabolical though, because it seems like he's about to buy the building. He's gonna buy the building that they in, and then try to take 50% ownership over their podcast. See, he's a young man who didn't do nothing but eat, sleep, and egg the 48 laws of power. You can tell he studied that book like it's the Bible. That's how he plays the game, So if you destroy completely, and that's one consistent pattern 50 Cent has always illustrated whenever he goes at anybody that he's beefing with. If he's gonna destroy, he destroys completely. But let's see how these dudes are trying to keep the flames going and instigate whatever's going on between Maino and 50 Cent. Let's go.
Where the media
We're the media team. We got content. TV's in the go.
Kid the Barber, my guy. Salute to you, my guy. Salute. Let's get to the content.
We got TV in the go, Wack.
You looking for that fire Clubhouse content? Well, you need to subscribe
Dominic Mayweather in the building. Salute to you, my guy. Appreciate you being here.
to the home. Hey, yo, Clubhouse TV. Let's get to the content.
That's a good one.
Spin the block.
Yo, Wack.
What up, bro?
We're on stream, man. Hey, did you see what 50 said to Maino and them?
Them niggas over there squatting.
Hey. So you know what I was saying though? I said Maino got to keep the same energy, right?
He's not. He's a bitch.
He got to keep the same energy, because put it like this. When I was, first of all, I didn't even start joking on him. I was making a joke about Fabulous. He jumped
Fabulous.
in. He jumped in, and then when
You
he
gotta
jumped in,
remember he needs something to talk about, bro. Look, what does Maino have to talk about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I know that.
he
That's a
hasn't
fact.
got-
That's a fact.
So he gotta find something to talk about.
Yeah. But Maino, like his reputation is like he's like the King Von out of New York. Like I'm
Nah, you get out of here. I sent you the audio. The dude he talking about was on the lot, boxing bar. I sent it to you. He said he tapped Maino on his shoulder.
Too Blown, my guy. Salute to my man Too Blown in the building, man. Hey, blessings to you, bro. That's my guy right there. Let's get to it.
After he sliced him on the street, I sent you the audio. I interviewed him. You got it on your text.
wait, but like I don't know if you heard about him like in New York City. They said Maino slapped like 200 niggas out here. I ain't gonna lie.
Get out of here, bro.
I'm serious. They say he got a couple bodies. He slapped like 200 niggas. So really, like Maino like King Von.
Come on, bro. You talking about the nigga that stole Troy Ave Jerry?
Nah, that was wild.
Like it was cool.
No, that was
He
wild.
had wore it in videos.
Nah,
And then tried to claim it was fake after he wore it in video. Come on, bro.
Nah, that was wild. He wore the chain for like a year, and then he said it was fake. Wearing a fake chain for a year is wild. That is crazy.
And then gave him a shout out and did all kind of shit. Come on, bro. What you talking
Please hit
about?
that like button on your way in.
No.
What you talking about?
Why you
Yo,
think
man.
why you think you wouldn't keep the same energy with 50 though?
Because you gotta remember.
You think he's scared of 50?
New York streets. He's scared of what 50 could do in them New York streets. You know that.
50 called him a squatter and a bum, and the first thing he said is, "Yo, I'm always gonna be grateful you gave me a record deal." Huh?
Yeah, so I'm saying he's a hoe. You gotta keep the same energy, bro. That's whole tendencies.
Yo, I keep realizing Street niggas really pick and choose, man.
Selective politics, bro.
Why is it like that, though?
Because the streets is a myth.
Because I thought he was going to treat 50 like how he said he treated Young Bird.
He ain't going to do that, bro. He going to call and beg Uncle Murder to get 50 off of him.
You know what's so crazy about this, right? Listen to Act, right? Be so condescending, right? A real fat little narcissist, little fat fucker, right? He tough. He talking tough on these airways, you know? It's just funny to me. If they was to run into him, they wouldn't even do nothing to him because they know exactly what's going to come with that. And that's why he's sitting there comfortable in his little podcast talking big tough shit like he is. CS2 Back is the same way. CS2 Back gonna say all the most egregious things, like he said to Wacko. He said to Wacko, we stay down the street from each other, kind of like Stutterbox, right? How ironic. We stay down the street from each other, literally. If that's the case, go down to that nigga house, knock on that door, and get it out the way. Why you ain't doing that? He stay right down the street. He behind the scenes. He's saying you a rat. He's saying you the CS2 Back guy. He say you done told on the main streets and et cetera, et cetera. That's just that's the biggest line of disrespect I've ever heard of from a street point of view. Where I come from, and he's from where I'm from. Niggas get cracking and come back. Why that ain't happened yet?
Like he did me.
What?
Called Uncle Murray to beg us to get off his ass. Yeah. He was apologizing to the homie G Magic and all that on my mama. You know.
So wait, what do you think Maino's objective is? Do you think it's just like doing
He
content?
just needs something to talk, bro. The nigga had one hit 28 years ago. He ain't never had a tour. He ain't never none of that type of shit, bro. Bro, at the end of the day, he has to talk about what's being talked about. Or he has nothing to talk about.
Hey, what do you think? So I was telling the chat the story. I was like, what do you think Jim Jones is gonna say? Because when I seen Jim Jones at the concert, you know what Jim Jones said? He said all that internet shit y'all be doing. He said niggas get hurt when they play with me. I think
you see how he's saying shit. Niggas get hurt. So performative. Yeah, man. Dudes like that, you gotta watch dudes like that, man. You gotta watch dudes like that. So performative. So easy to put on a character and lie and manipulate and shit. You gotta watch. People like him and CS2 Back are dangerous people, man. Very dangerous people.
50 is playing with him at this point. Do you think 50 gonna get hurt?
Man, nigga ain't gonna do nothing, bro.
Look at him instigating. Salute to my guy Chemo 205 in the building, man. Salute to my guy Chemo 205 in the building. Salute, my guy. Let's get to it.
Definitely.
Huh?
Jim Jones scared to go to jail. That's why he told back then, you know that. On my mama.
Hit that like button, please.
I got a call 3 weeks ago. The word on the block is, remember I told you, Mel Murder ain't too happy. He was trying to get me to line him up with our guy that got offices out here with me and out there with you to do an interview. This a fact. He's not too happy. He want to expose a nigga.
Wait.
Remember I told you?
Wait.
Remember I told you,
Why
bro?
would he not be too happy? Like,
remember
he
I
came
told
home
you?
like Pooh Shiesty.
No, listen to me. No, he didn't. He came home shiesty, no poo. That's a fact.
Nah,
Remember
he
I
came home
told
like
you?
Max B. You
No, he didn't. He came home without B, without the Max. Right? Listen. Remember, there's no way all of a sudden these Bloods is just attacking
Charles Pitt.
Jim Jones all of a sudden.
Salute.
All this time, dude been in jail, they ain't said nothing. Then when he get out, they saying something. That was the pressure. He didn't do what he was supposed to do. asked our guy with the red beard if Wack didn't send him an offer for a dude to come sit down with him.
Let's switch that up.
It's a fact. That's why I sit back and I watch these thinkers. You know what I'm saying? No, you know who with me all day?
Who?
R&B.
Yeah.
Cause she gonna feel what I feel and I'm gonna feel what she feel. These niggas be out here perpetrating the fraud.
So you don't think that Maino
I don't know how true it is, but I had heard allegedly in the chat when he says that they feel the same thing. He was referring to body parts. I don't know how true. I don't know how true that is. Don't quote me. I just seen that in the comment section somewhere that when he said that him and R&B they feel the same thing. That's what he was referring to. I don't know. You got to ask him if it's true or not. I don't know.
Don't give 50 a wedgie for playing with him.
And you know he a nerd talking about giving niggas wedgies. You ain't got to be a street nigga to know that this nigga's a super nerd.
Maino not finna say a word to 50. He might go over there and watch his mother sprinters.
Yee.
Really?
He gonna say nothing to 50. He hoping 50 put him in a movie or in a TV series or something, bro.
Oh, I'm glad you said something about Young and Hefe. Let me pause this for a second, man. I got to address this, man. Check this out, man. Young and Hefe owe that boy Spider Loc that money. And then he's trying to move the goalposts on it. And he went as far as to say, a bet is when you make the bet, like I don't even think he made the bet. I think he just said, I'll give you $1,000 if you pull up in your neighborhood. Blah, 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 blah. I don't think he even used the word, I bet 1,000. I think his verbiage was, if you pull up in, I'll give you 1,000 if you pull up in your neighborhood. Point blank, period. Then he gonna say, he gonna now dictate what a bet is by saying, in order for it to be an official bet, Spider Loc has to agree. So your enemy, your op, the nigga you going at has to say, or call you on the phone and say, I accept the bet. Man, shut up. Young and Hefe, you wrong, you foul. You thought that nigga couldn't pull up and he pulled up. I don't care who was out there. He pulled up in his area with people around. You owe him that cheese, bro. Just keep it a buck and say you just was talking out your ass. And it'd be over with. Because you look lame. I was looking in the comment section, man. Them niggas was flaming Young and Hefe, who don't care about nothing but what the check or the bet say. That nigga don't care about nothing. Young and Hefe don't care about the bet, the check, nothing. God damn, bro. What type of Vegas rules is these, my nigga? You just muddy waters. Talk to me, buddy. Talk to me, bro. Lewis in the building. The beautiful Lena Love is in the building. Blessings, Queen. Happy to see you here. I know I ain't went live in a minute, but we here in the game. We cooking. I know y'all peeped that, right? Did y'all go see the video where Young and Hefe is explaining? He mansplaining what a bet is. This nigga said that a bet ain't official until the other man says, hey, I accept the bet. Nigga, that is your op, nigga. He ain't about to pick up the phone and call you. He said, oh, okay, and went over there. What's the difference? What's the difference? Whether you talk to him or not, you said, I'll give you $1,000 if you pull up in your hood. Period. Why does it matter if you talk to him or if he came out and said, I accepted it? Obviously, he accepted it because he went over there. You need you need two ID verification up. Because Young and Hefe don't care about nothing but what that check say, nor do he care about what the bet say. Because he going to change the rules anyway. That part. Dope music in the building. Let's go.
Bro, look, let's be real. This game ain't changed. And those dudes that don't have resources and rich, it's a problem. You know that.
Yeah, no, that's true.
You get what I'm saying? It's a problem. So
hey, Wack,
That's
you
true.
know you turned my son into a politician now, right? Like he trying to run for office.
I haven't seen that or heard from that dude for quite some time.
Yeah, he went from picking up picket signs. Now he's a crime advisor for Mandami, the New York City mayor.
He's a crime advisor for what?
Mandami, yeah.
What did Mandami? So he's turning in information.
Yeah. He basically got his own grid program, so he gonna tell the cops how to deal with the criminals better. Yeah.
There it go, bro. There it go. But yet he want to call everybody rats, right? This nigga. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying,
Hit that
bro.
like button. Hit that like button.
I don't put it past him, though, bro. This nigga robbed a cab driver for $7, bro. And did what? 7 years.
Yeah, nah.
Robbed a cab driver for $7. He still ain't apologizing to the cab driver.
They blame it.
Nah. This is definitely totally crazy. Man,
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that nigga Ant, you should have concluded that bet. That's what the fuck you should have did. You shouldn't have made that bet. Should have concluded that bet, bruh. Nigga pulled up in your shit, then you gonna change what a bet is, the rules to a bet. He didn't officially accept it. How? He pulled up over there. The fuck? And if they did do that, then he would have said, well, you know, he didn't shake my hand. Like, what? Man, you niggas is weird out here, bro. Anyone knows? I don't even know. You gotta ask Deuce Sims about Scandalous, but salute to him and his family. Salute to Scandalous though and his family.
I'm surprised by Hey, did you see Maino trying to post about you? He was acting like he was upset.
Bro,
Like
listen,
you were lying on him. And
you
I'm
gotta
like,
remember,
Wack not
listen.
lying.
Then he posts some weird ass shit. Niggas weird as a motherfucker. Nigga talking about somebody gotta be.
Nah, hold on. You moving too fast. CS too back. You said we gotta remember. I think that was the point of him posting that, so we all can remember that you was butt ass naked with your cheeks in the air, dangling your legs in the air on the phone talking to post it. That's what he did it for, so we could remember. Remember?
BBL is some weird shit. I'm sorry.
Wow, I'm gonna keep
BBL Wack was hilarious though. He said you got a BBLW and R&B and chatter. Salute to y'all, man. Hey, I'm all for self-growth, self-care, man. Whatever make you feel like a bad bitch, bro. Do what you do.
keep it a bean with you.
Why is your mind on a man's ass? You okay?
Wack,
Why that man got his ass in the air for the world to see? I mean, it is what it is.
disturbed that he had a video of you laying like naked in his phone. That was a little bit odd to me.
That's what I'm saying. That's odd, bro. They got tendencies.
Oh, because it's whack. If they had a picture of Maino like that in their phone, what y'all think? Tell me in the comment section. What y'all think? Y'all think they'll post it? If they had a picture of Maino in a compromised situation, BBL cheeks in the air, swinging and dangling like whack, y'all think they not gonna post it? Tell me what y'all think, man. Hit that like button.
I come from a bitch. What you got it in your phone for? That's crazy. I mean, but listen, bro. Dude ain't got long. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got long. He gonna get caught. He gonna get violated. His biggest claim to fame is
No, I'm gonna be honest.
putting his hand on Young Bird. Man, that's nobody, bro.
No, from what I've heard, Maino has hundreds of victims. He's a serial.
Get the
I'm serious.
bro.
If you ask niggas in New York about Maino, they basically saying he been punking everybody out here. Honestly.
Man, get out of here, bro.
That's why, I never try to use this, but I told him, I said, listen, Maino, first of all,
Wack talking about, come on, bro, but how you know? You ain't from New York. You out there. How you know what Maino doing in New York? I know you say you got a place in Jersey, bro, but we ain't even heard you talk about that place in 20 moons in the summer, giving like 706 in the building. Salute to you. What we do know is there's plenty of fades out there that you have yet to catch. Even Charles Pitts know what's up. There's plenty of fades that you ain't caught yet. So at least we know Maino done caught a few. Oh, your shit been staged.
after your aggressive tone at me, you know, number one, I don't go nowhere without security,
to
but
the
I've
family.
beefed up my
Feels good
security.
to be
But if
together.
you do see me
Troy
and
Ave
do some
renamed
dumb
that Drano, bro.
Drano, what?
Yeah, Troy Ave been renamed that nigga Drano, bro, a long time ago. Troy Ave over there before he went and did the little 9 months he did. Yeah, he could pull that shit
Oh,
up.
no, he was calling him
fucked up.
Chano. Oh, yeah.
He was calling Drano, Chano, some shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, end of the day, it is what it is. Jumped in something academic said about a whole nother artist who ain't had nothing to say about it. You clout chasing.
Nah, he definitely is. But again, and I don't mind him cloud chasing as long as he shows me he keeps the same energy with everybody. Because you know what? At least at that point, I could be like, yo, dog, it's you not understanding his humor. He's just generally aggressive with everybody. But with him in Fifth, he seems to be kind of asking Fifth, what's the problem?
That strain was wilding over here, bro.
Man, listen, bro.
I was hating on you.
Don't want no problems. 50 done already violated you. You don't want no problems.
Clubhouse TV.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. Boy, you see how they trying to instigate some shit between the two. Maino and 50, they too smart for that though. They ain't gonna fall for that. I'm not even worried about them falling for that one. But you know, clearly that's what they doing right there. You know, it's if we can't get to y'all, I'm saying from the Fed's point of view. If we can't get to y'all directly, right? It's complicated. Then we go ahead and cause friction amongst you two. You two take each other out. Our hands is clean. Simple scenario.
Excuse me, sir. How old were you when you made your first million?
What is this for?
We're trying to get advice for the younger generation.
We got the media team in here.
They've been using that technique on us for centuries. You know? So that's how I see it. So this one that ran across my desk. I was hearing rumors, but I don't know if it's true or not. So I can't stamp any of this as true or not. But the rumor was that Blueface set up the Krishan shit. I don't know how true that is. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna just listen to what happens here. But it says Wack100 responds after being asked if Blueface set up Krishan Rock to be jumped. Then I heard that CS2 Backman had it. You know, it's nasty work.
Where the media team? We got content. TV's in the go. We got.
Hey, Clubhouse TV, you gotta take Yeast Beast out your intro, bro. That nigga is annoying, bro. That nigga's annoying, bro. You got to take him out.
TV in the go, Wack.
You looking for that fire Clubhouse content? Well, you need to subscribe to the home. Hey, yo, Clubhouse TV. Let's get to the content.
That's a good one.
In the block.
We had like 7 squabbles a day, but they cool. They bowling right now. They
Wait.
made up.
Y'all shooting a reality show? Wait, they're squabbling?
We've been shooting a reality show since the 4th, fool, every day, non-stop.
Wait, hold on.
Shit
Though.
crazy.
Is this
Fresh
coming
out
out
of
on
love.
Zeus? Is it coming out on Zeus?
Nah, coming out on the same network we shoot your show on. Niggas coming out on nothing but content. Powered by nothing but sports. Yeah, what you mean? Like, bro. Like, yeah, A&B here, he confirmed.
So I figured what's going on with these niggas, right? So Academics, remember Academics brought his supporters up to talk about CS2 back and how they tired of him being on the channel and all that other BS, remember? I think that was Academics taking his shots at Wack because Wack promised him something. I knew it was something. I knew it was it was nothing that we would know about on the front end. It had to have been something that was done on the back end by the way that Academics actually went about it. And he was very creative in the way that he went about it because it wasn't him saying it. It was his supporters that were saying it. And he's similar to me, but I don't think he really means it. Like, I love the people that support my channel. Love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like this channel is mine, ain't just mine, it's y'all's. It's both of ours. We the ones that keep this thing going. I just created it. Y'all the bloodline of it. And I think his concept is very similar to that. But I think his his mentality is more business minded behind it. Me, I can give a shit about the business portion of it. Maybe I should take it more serious. I don't know, but I know mine is more driven from love and genuine connection, right? So he can get away with bringing his people up on stage to go in on CS2 back like they did, and then fall back and say, "Hey, I respect my supporters and what they got to say. It's their opinion, man. I'm gonna let that's how I rock." Wack wanted to make an issue about it. So I knew that right there had something to do with something that happened behind the fucking scenes, and I think it has something to do with this show that Academics is allegedly supposed to be having a part of, and it seemed like Wack then came around to, giving him a piece of whatever this pie is that they breaking down. That's what all this about. So Academics will let Wack get away with anything he wants to if he gets what's promised to him. There's a whole lot of curry favor going on in this bitch. Ain't no real journalism going on whatsoever. This is all about favors. Scratch my back, I scratch your back mentality.
Today, he said, "Yo, tell Ack he need to get there." You know what I'm saying? So, you up on the gambler, right? Mickey Mace.
Yeah.
You up on Mickey, right? Yeah, he gonna be there. He put together the games, the gambling, the games the girl's gonna be playing to win the car. So,
Wait, y'all giving a girl a car?
Yeah, man. Listen, let me tell you this shit. R&B is one of the directors of this shit, or an executive producer of this shit. Today we gave away a full set of veneers to a girl that won the competition.
Yeah.
We gave away body surgery on us. We're giving away a car. I think tossing a rollie in there.
Yeah.
One of the girls won a song produced by Hit Boy, written by Blueface. She did that on the yacht. We had the 100-foot yacht out there with the studio on the yacht.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, shit, we can, bro. He keep I can see the text. He like, "Yo, Wack, he gotta be there."
Wait, Wack.
Yeah.
Could you apologize for setting up Krishan Rock? I heard you had them. You had them jumper,
bro. Listen.
I heard you had them jumper, bro.
First of all, right? And the whole world heard me tell her she should leave, bro. She went on a 20 versus 1 and disrespected the whole crib card. Not a set. The whole crib card. Not once but twice.
Watch this.
Right? And then the little blood dude she was with, turned around and told him she dropped his mama and baby mama address to the Crips. So I'm telling her, you playing a dangerous game in this jungle. I don't want to see that happen to her. She need to leave, bro. Go somewhere and lay low. This is a dangerous jungle right here. When you do that, anybody that sees you open season. I don't think she understands.
What did she do that people are upset at, though?
Go pull up the 20 versus 1. She told the Crip, this thing. Told him straight up. This the whole scene. She did it like 3 weeks ago, bro. Like, I don't know what people don't understand. It's like, nigga, she did that. Shit, pull it up. I'm pretty sure you can Google it right now on YouTube. Krishan Rock, 20 versus 1. This is the Crips.
So wait, that's why they pulled up on her?
I mean, shit, she was over there in Compton in the Crip neighborhood. So I don't know. And I'm gonna be real. That wasn't nothing. Hopefully she pays attention to the warnings, bro, and stays out of them areas and get out of Dodge, bro, because, bro, listen,
people think that.
I'm gonna say this, man. I don't know if that's why they pulled up on her. I know that they had an issue with her, but I don't know if that's why they pulled up on that girl. But whoever was around her had to have known that something was gonna happen. But I want to be clear about what I seen what happened. He took the girl phone and pushed it down. She touched somebody else's phone. Now, was she recording to make a viral moment? Who knows? We don't know what was about to transpire. But we know what actually did, though. She touched that girl phone and pushed it down, and that girl smacked her for it. And then everything else broke out from there. So I don't know if them girls was going to end up doing something to her or not. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to go that far. But who knows? If she would have never touched the girl phone with something that made, I don't know. We don't know. But I wouldn't have been shocked or surprised if it did. You know what I'm saying?
Blueface set her up. Did Blueface set her up?
And don't nobody think no shit.
Oh, we got E-Bands in the building. E-Bands, you why am I still on your mind, brother? This was what, 3 years? 3 years going? I'm still on your mind. If the quality sucks and the channel sucks, then you don't gotta be here. Like when you be running your channel with 3 people for an hour or 2, I don't never pop up. I see you. But I don't go check your channel out, E-Bands, because I know you suck. See, you just like these internet niggas. You sit behind that little wherever you at and talk all that tough shit on the internet, but I will never see you pull up on anybody that you talk shit to. That's a fact. You won't ever pull up on me. You won't pull up on none of my guys from Shroom Street. You know, the different level brothers, you ain't pulling up on shit. All you gonna do is sit on social media and do what you do with your 9 to 10 people, whatever that you be having over there. Like going over there to kick, brother, and chat. Y'all can line his ass up if y'all want to. I'm cool with it. But it's all love though, E-Band. Like I don't never think about you, bro. You know, it's crazy that I'm on your mind though, bro. That's crazy. But I appreciate you pulling up anyway, though. Appreciate it. I might go over there and watch your channel one day just to give you an extra view or some shit. But I ain't gonna sit in your comment section and hate like a little kid, though. Too grown for that. But again, E-Bands, if you ever, you ever want to pull up, you ever want to say anything to me in person, just hit me. Hit me on the Instagram, in the back chat. Me and you we can holler in person. That part.
Like that Blueface ain't from Compton. That just some dumb, stupid on the internet talking out their ass because don't nothing right.
Niggas like him is just busters all the way around. Internet busters. Just internet busters, man. This nigga is weird. E-Bands, hit me on the gram, man. And in the description of all my videos, my Instagram links is in the description. If you ever want to holler at me, ever, I will accommodate you, my guy. Just hit me.
Come out their mouth like Blueface ain't from Compton. Blueface from Mid-City, bro. West LA area, bro. That's about a 35 minute trip, bro.
Hit that like button like you want something.
I'm saying, when you look,
That's
listen,
cool. We good with that.
you're Jamaican, right? So if
Yeah.
I say academics, right, that's me talking to you, right?
Yeah.
But if I say Jamaicans,
Yeah.
that's everybody, right? So
Yeah.
that means wherever I'm at, if there's a Jamaican that didn't like that, I might get it, right?
Nah, that's a fact.
That's what she did. She dissed the whole Crip card. Loud as
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That might not end too well.
I know.
That's how.
it ain't, bro. It ain't. And she running around this jungle, bro.
Well, I'm gonna be honest.
You ain't got
I'm
no
gonna keep it a
ball,
beam with
blood.
you. Before I seen that, I was like, yo, I know you're from LA, and I get it if people are like, moving around unprotected, whatever. But I'm like, I think we're in an era where a nigga could just say whatever and just kind of do his thing, like
Nah, boy.
You know what they trying to
Bullshit.
do?
It's still.
I've been peeping a couple of people, what they've been trying to do, they've been trying to cause, real friction amongst the hoods, saying the Compton women was soft and this and that, really trying to cause some bullshit out here in these streets, man. That's what I'm saying. This internet shit it can be dangerous, and that's what we don't need. That's what we don't need in our communities. We don't need none of that extra bullshit. But what's crazy is a lot of this shit be by the police, by these federal agents. They be pushing the propaganda. I wonder if people really catch that. Like it's them that's out here causing the friction. So that's telling you right now that that's what they want. Why would they want that? Because they're trying to get as many of us off these streets.
Still dangerous out here, buddy. It's still people live and die about that shit like it's their religion. Believe it or not, bullshit. No, you can't turn your TV off, bro. And with that, it can come from either side, men, women. You know what I'm saying? Then she runs around with all this jewelry on. Like, bro, you know all this out here?
Wait, did it rob her or no?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I don't know.
If she
We was
checked in
filming.
with you and like, yo, Wack, I'm about to go over
We
the
ain't got nothing to do with none of that. That's her business. We was filming, bro. I know where we was at. We was in Malibu Mountains filming.
So
What about that shit? That ain't our business.
So, I was watching, like, the girls talk about it afterwards. They said they started beating her ass, and the kid was around. So, like, isn't that
Man, them
sad?
people, but nah, bro, that's not. Let me tell you why. That's irresponsible on her. If you know you done violated and said what you said, why would you take your kid to a known gang area? At what point are they gonna look at her and say, you are irresponsible?
Yeah.
Like, bro, you know what you did. You know what the chatter is out here. And you're gonna take your kid to the middle of Compton in the Cripplewood? What the f you thinking?
Yeah, nah, it's definitely a little
Come
bit.
on, bro. I know that's crazy.
Hey, by the way. Hey,
Hold up. Dee Dumb said, I got a message to relay. She said Selena is a dirty. Yeah, why is she telling you that? We know who you are. We know who that is. We know who that is. Man, hey, what's her name? God damn, that's another one that's in their feelings. What's up with y'all, man? What's the little stalker girl name? Fuck is her name? I forgot about you, BBL Drizzy. Man, come on, man. We know who you are, man. We know who you are, man. I'ma relay the message. Don't you worry about nothing. We gonna relay that message. Yeah, but we ain't gonna do no racial slurs in here though. Time that person out, man. They say any more racist ass slurs like that, please. Time them out. I was told to come to the chat and nah, man. Nah, man. That ain't cool. I'ma call you back. She ain't blocked in my chat. Don't be the messenger. Don't turn out to be a messenger, man. Because the messenger can be held responsible for the message that they deliver. So you really need to go holler at her and tell her she can come over here and holler at me, and she can hit me on the back chat and holler at me and let me know. I don't understand why is she on her mind? What the fuck is she still on her mind? That's BBL, bro. That's BBL. That's who I think it is. Yeah, I think that's BBL. Or that's I'm gonna call you back. But I think that's BBL though.
and what you think about this queso dad?
86K seconds. Damn. How long is damn? I did the 24. Damn. Oh well.
So queso, yo, we gonna watch this on stream.
I mean, bro.
Queso dad
said,
he said, I told, but I ain't snitched.
He said he saved himself to get on to his other kids.
No, I get that, but so in this new clip, he said some shit that's what I hear in Atlanta a lot. He's like, yo, that nigga told, but he ain't snitched.
Look, man, I don't even none of that. This is why I don't respect the streets. This is why I wrote and we put together the New Testament, because that's what it is today, bro. Like, end of the day, these niggas are arguing down about what you read. You know what I'm saying? On some real shit.
Yeah.
But guess what? It's a lot of mothers been bad for 20, 30 years. A lot of mothers, you know what I'm saying, that been bad for 20, 30 years, bro. I read some shit today. Got caught with a machine gun, assault rifle,
That's crazy.
a silencer, weed, and 2 other charges.
That's crazy.
And I'm reading it's from 02. But got 3 years summary probation.
That girl's still in her feelings, bro, about some shit she started. Nigga, that's crazy.
I'm on probation. Ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these mothers run around here playing like this and playing like that. And it's a lot of tough ass rats too. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of rats.
Man, that's just a long story. That's a dead story, but still a story. You know, niggas is still holding on and shit. Instead of letting shit go and moving on with their life, still acting like grown ass kids. You know how I go.
Rats that'll whip your ass. A lot of rats that'll kill you to kill it, but they rats. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So people selected politics because if the people know he's a rat, it's gonna make the hood look bad. But yet if that other little nigga get caught telling, they'll violate him because he don't make a difference. You see what I'm saying? That's just what it is, man. This shit is over with. Gentrification is here. The laws, you see what Trump did with fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? He just labeled fentanyl weapon of mass destruction. So in the next 5 to 7 years.
Oh yeah, I seen that. We're gonna talk about that. Actually.
In the next 3 to 5 years, bro, gang members will be the minority. Civilians will laugh and say, "I tell them your bitch ass."
The feds is telling you, he telling you right now what the real play is that the feds is rolling out. Remember, this nigga's a federal agent, y'all.
They're going to be begging the civilians and paying them not to tell. It's over with. I got 3 calls today from niggas from the county telling me they made a change. I made a change, bro. I turned over new. It's over with, bro. That's why I've always been the way I've been. I deal with who I deal with. I don't give a fuck about the politics. It's just content to me because they ain't going to do nothing about it. Look at Max B.
And I will never trust a nigga like Posted. Posted sat over there and had Wack100 on his stage day in and day out for over a year supporting that nigga. And then Wack packed his ass up, and now all of a sudden he the enemy of Wack and running his paperwork. And now all of a sudden you'll see him pop up every now and then with his little boring ass channel running that bullshit ass content. I think Wack is still in his back pocket. Just like SBGB TV. All these niggas is in that nigga back pocket. Deuce Sims, man. Deuce Sims made a great point that I had made alone when we exposed SBGB TV for getting information from Wack100, even though he said he would never do that. He said the only time I will ever deal with him is when I'm doing the phone line in front of my audience. I will never have a conversation with him off air. And then we found out that's a lie because Wack sent him the content with Dale, with Dale and Loose Cannon. And Wack lined him up and told him, "Hey man, no, just tell him that you got it from Loose Cannon's page. Just tell him that because it was on Loose Cannon's page. But Loose Cannon's version was an edited version. The full version is what he originally played in the very fucking beginning. And then the nigga said, and his people went for it like straight dummies. Then the nigga said he got it from J. Reed. I'm dead. You got it from J. Reed. I'm dead. Niggas is crazy. But Deuce made a great point. All of us at some point or another have got struck by CS2 Bat. Or got our channel threatened by CS2 Bat. That nigga ain't never got his page hit. And he got nothing but Wack content on there. He ain't doing nothing no different than any of us is doing. Think about that. What is he doing different that we not doing? With the phone line? Nah, he runs content and he reacts to content. He don't just do the phone line. So there's it's a plethora of content out there. If Wack wanted to take him out, he could have damn sure tried or started the process. But he never ever did it. That is damning to me. That tells you everything you need to know.
Did I not tell you a year ago audio was coming? I told you that. I said, yo, they got the audio. You didn't believe me. I said, all right, it's going to drop. But he got the popularity vote, so they looked the other way. But yet 6ix9ine, he got down, and they crucified him. Because he's a young Latin kid who had all the attention, so the black niggas is jealous. So use this against it.
Nasty work.
That's how it work, bro. What it is. That's why we got to take care of our own. That's it.
You heard what he said, right? We got to take care of our own.
Jesus Christ. What else is going on in your world?
What'd you say?
What else is going on in your world?
Man, shit, we wrapping this up Monday, Tuesday. We got 3-4 more events this week. Hopefully you can make this one on the 20th. Boxing match either gonna be in Tampa, Florida, or
all right, man. We don't care about none of that because we ain't about to be promoting any of that. I just ran across this this video on Trap Ross's page, bro. It's a long video. It's about Big U. It just dropped it. This is nasty work. It has that same theme that it had with the NBA YoungBoy, but this is about Big U, the Rico, and what are some alleged murders. He just dropped it. It's about an hour and some change. Check this shit out.
Build a website you love with Wix. Where your words.
The Big U murders that caused a rolling 60 Rico. He just dropped this. Boy, these feds is coming from all sides of the playing field. I hope 4 extras is okay, bro.
To understand the predicament that Big U faces today, being accused of leading one of LA's most notorious gangs, we have to go all the way back to the start to understand how these gangs and Big U ended up running the streets of LA. Like many black families during the mid-1900s, Big U's parents were part of the so-called Great Migration, where African Americans moved from the southern states to the northern states to escape the Jim Crow laws and look for a better life. They were originally from Mississippi before making their way north to Chicago. In Chi-Town, Big U's father would allegedly get affiliated with one of the original infamous gang leaders.
Yeah, I don't like him either, kid. I don't like him. That interview was so fake and awkward. Nobody is really calling that out, by the way. Even I didn't. I wanted to, but it was like, now I'm just picking on him. It's obviously like people can all, can peep that, right? But I don't like him, bro. He's snaky. He's something sleazy about him. He's like a slick oil salesman. You know what I'm saying? You know that old saying? He's like an old slick oil salesman. And he just get them vibes. It's not genuine. You know all that shit he was doing with 4 Extra, bro. All that shit was just there. And before Extras, I ain't gonna sit here and be biased either. He played along with it too. So I mean that's something that they cool with. I don't know, but yeah, I don't like. It's something about him that ain't right. I definitely think he doing some type of help or work with law enforcement. What? I don't know, but I definitely think so. He just came out of nowhere too. Like I don't know him from 6 months ago. He just popped up on the scene. Where he come from, other than the country he from. Like what? Like where did he just popped out of nowhere and got popping? It's weird to me.
Turned revolutionaries, Jeff Fort, co-founder of one of the earliest major black
Exactly. And that shit there, that's why what's my man? I don't want to call him Turtle, even though that's his name. 4 Extra's cousin. What's that? What's my nigga name, man? Y'all know what I'm talking about. 4 Extra's cousin, man, trying to stand on what's right, and 4 Extra's sitting there overriding it. For the dick. I don't know nothing about that dude that do the filming and all that. I don't pay attention to him. So I can't say if he for our people or against our people. What I can say is, oh boy, feels some kind of way about it, and what he's saying he feel, I feel him feeling that. Niggas gotta stop letting these people exploit our communities. Like make it make sense. Why do we always get other people from other places to come into our communities and profit off of it? Even the ones who look like us. Does that even make sense to you? All these capable people within our own community, our little cousins, our little nephews, our little nieces, our little sisters, all in our own community. Who know how to work a camera? Who may need some media training, like anybody else, but can be taught? Why we don't have that? People that are from the community, that know the community and can speak on the community and know what not to speak on. Nope, we always outsource. We always outsource and bring these people in our community to profit off of us, and then take little things that we do and expose it. It's weird. I don't know what his name is, but his nickname is Turtle, man. Not Expo, not X4. 4 Extra's other cousin, the other one. But his nickname, he got a nickname Turtle. But he got another nickname. What is his damn name? That's gonna drive me crazy. with the glasses. But Spody face. I don't know if he right or wrong about the dude that he was going in on, but I respect what he was saying, and I champion what he's saying. You know, like ain't gonna be no. We can't keep letting y'all exploit us, come in our community, exploit us, get us crossed up. I live here. You just here visiting. You just here shooting audio and video. My family live here. My people's people live here. How we so easy to, so willing to open the door to these strangers and bring them in our communities to report on us? How does that make sense? Like we don't got people in our community that can do it? The fuck are we talking about? That's weird in itself to me. Somebody from Northern California or wherever Trap Ross is from wherever part of the country he's from, we needed to outsource that, bring them in to talk about our community, us? Nah, that don't make no sense to me. And look at this shit. Let's just check it out.
Street gangs in America, the almighty Black Pea Stone Nation, cementing an early gang influence in the Henley family all the way back then. Big U's parents would ultimately get separated during their time in Chicago, and in 1966, his mother would move to Los Angeles shortly before his birth. The family settled in an area known as South Central, this being the area where most of the early black residents of LA would settle down. More specifically, they would stay around 81st and Hoover, and according to Big U, it was here where he would first begin to rep the Crips, the gang which was founded in South Central around 1969, around 3 years after Big U was born. Founded by Raymond Washington and Craig Craddock, the Crips then spread further west by Tukey Williams, who would found the West Side Crips.
Because in the area where we grew up at, we grew up over there, was already seeing Crip and was already seeing Hoover, and it meant something different.
Big U had a very large family tree who would all move to LA, and the majority of them would eventually settle near Slauson and Arlington, to an area that would eventually become associated with the Rolling 60s neighborhood Crips. But at the time, there would be earlier gangs.
We got here, the homies wasn't here yet, and then Van Ness Park didn't have no structure.
I 100% believe that. I got nothing but love for my brothers from the UK. But, you know, just like when Malcolm X said when he in the movie, when the white people, that was good white people, you know, they wanted to support us. They loved us. They felt that the injustice that we were going through was terrible. It was horrible, deplorable. They would say these things, and for the most part, they would mean it, crying, tears in their eye. Malcolm X seen that, but still let them know. We gotta fix us. We from within. We can't outsource that until we figure out us first. We gotta figure out us first. I think that still reigns true to this day. That's the problem. We keep trying to outsource when we need to figure us out first. Work with us first. Build the community from within. That don't mean we can't do business with the ones that's from the UK, that's good people. Then we can rub elbows with them and build with them. Do a collab. We come out there and learn about it out there. They come out here and learn about it out here. We share resources, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we need to be building from within our own community, from the people who live here. No different than the police who police our communities need to come from our communities, who have lived in our communities, who know the people in these communities, who grew up with these people. See, all this shit is common sense solutions. But see, they don't want that. That's the truth. They don't want that. You know how I know that? Because Big U was doing just that. Because I always thought it was crazy that you would hear all these crazy stories about Big U doing this and Big U doing that, right? Before Big U, Wack went on his rampage and was doing what he was doing, there was always whispers and stuff like that. But then when you moving around within the communities and shit, you ain't seeing or hearing really none of that. All you seeing is more positive than the negative. That was because that was the agenda. The agenda was to paint him in that way. Not saying he perfect. I ain't saying that. None of us are. Especially when they come from our communities. It's a lot left on the table to be desired. You know? But at the end of the day, Was he doing more good than bad for the communities? I think he was. But that's not the picture that they wanted to paint for him. That's a fact.
Nothing. And I think Bunchy, Big Bunchy was from Fruitown Brim. So it was like Fruitown Brim was in Van Ness Park. The 60s was on the verge of being formed, like it was just West Side Crips. And then it was West Side Crips and it was Neighborhood Crips. And the Neighborhood Crips was like down the line on the other side, like on Van Ness, like more towards where eventually like the hood took over. It was Neighborhood Crips and West Side Crips.
This neighborhood is not only famous for being the home of the Rollin' 60s, but also for being one of the main locations where the classic movie Boys in the Hood was filmed. Growing up, Big U would first become part of a small local clique from the immediate neighborhood called the AG, or Arlington Gang. Led by Big U's cousin Chili Capone, the group would eventually merge as part of the larger Rollin' 60s, who became infamous around the city of LA.
We was at every party, we was at every club, we knew where every function we was there. And it was funny because dudes would be like, where y'all from? And we from the AG. They're like, man, what's that? We're like, man, it's the AG, man, ain't no what's that. Then it's like, well, where is that at? Man, it's on Slauson and Arlington. Oh, well, y'all from the 60s. All right, fuck it, man, what is it, a problem? And then they would go from there.
Big U would get into trouble with the law from a young age, and already as a kid during the 70s, he claimed to have run with a car robbing crew, eventually getting sent to juvenile detention and spending a period of time on the run from whatever he'd done in LA and going back to live in Chicago with his father. But some years later, in 1979, one of the longest and bloodiest gang wars in LA history would start between the Rollin' 60s and their former allies, the 8-Tray Gangster Crips. Sometime later during the early 80s, Big U's cousin and the leader of their AG clique, Chili Capone, would sadly be killed. Now, the more matured Big U would return to Los Angeles to seek vengeance, with Big U saying that at this time he graduated from fighting to guns and he believed that a gun could get you anywhere you need to be in life. Standing at 6'2", Big U was an intimidating sight even without a gun, and he would still excel at fighting, which was the main way that the early gangs would settle their differences. One of the infamous places where this settling of scores would take place was at the World on Wheels skate rink, which was far away from the Rollin' 60s hood, but where the members would nevertheless go to make their presence known. One particularly big brawl would make the Rollin' 60s infamous throughout LA County took place on August 1986 during a Run DMC concert in the Long Beach area, where Rollin' 60s would, according to Big U, attend purely to start a fight and establish their dominance. The fight would injure dozens of people and cause the LA Palladium to cancel Run DMC's next concert in fear of escalating gang tensions. During the 80s, the county jail would also become a familiar place for Big U as he was racking up some pretty serious charges, which according to the criminal complaint even included multiple first-degree murder charges and attempted murder of a peace officer, but it seemed that these charges back in these days would never stick. But his time in jail would also help him further spread his reputation as a fearless fighter and a charismatic leader. According to the FBI, it was during the 80s when Big U would rise to a prominent position in the Rollin' 60s, earning a reputation of a violent enforcer who was willing to kill. One article about Big U stated that he became the lead man for the Rollin' 60s and got shot 7 times in the process. And during this time in the late 80s, this was when the crack epidemic was beginning to reach its peak.
Today, there's a new epidemic. Smokable cocaine, otherwise known as crack. It is an explosively destructive and often lethal substance which is crushing its users.
Got in a car accident? Don't call a lawyer. Use this free AI tool instead. That's how I walked away with $93,000 from what they called a minor.
It is an uncontrolled fire.
Big U and the Rollin' 60s would also partake in the lucrative drug trade. They would even begin to move dope from LA to other cities such as Minneapolis, Atlanta, and Chicago, where Big U would use his leadership skills to set up shops and take over street corners and influencing other out-of-state sets that banged under the banner of the Rollin' 60 Crips too. This would also be a time when Big U would get his first experiences in the rap industry, as a rapper called Popper LQ would ask Big U to manage him, thinking that while Big U had no experience in the industry, he did have the qualities to be a manager and the respect of the streets. Big U's friend would also ask him to help managing a young, promising Rolling 60s rapper called Corrupt, who's now known for such West Coast classics as Seawalk and We Can Freak It, as well as being one half of the duo The Dog Pound with Daz Dillinger, the group founded by Snoop Dogg. Big U had also become a family man at this point, and according to himself, he was beginning to be one foot in and one foot out of the hustle game, but unfortunately for him, he would become wanted by the police, and in December 1991, he was arrested as part of a sting operation after attempting to rob 33 pounds of cocaine from an undercover agent, with Big U pulling a gun and attempting to rob the fake plug drug, leading to the cops that were watching nearby to rush in and bust him. For this, he was given a monster sentence of 23 years, with news reports at the time describing him as a leader, if not the top man of the Rollin' 60s. This meant that during much of the golden years of hip-hop, Big U was behind bars, but he would spend his time inside continuing to develop his skills as a fighter and a leader. One story even circulated that he had apparently knocked somebody's eyeball out of their socket during a prison fight. Photos of Big U behind bars would circulate online as the years went by. During a Breakfast Club interview, Big U would even say that he was running the drug trade in the prison yard during this time.
Because I basically took over the whole little drug trade on the yard because I had money. So I came in and I bought all the guards who was bringing in.
But when he wasn't squabbling or selling drugs.
Now y'all see right there, did y'all see Bimmy was sitting next to Big U? Y'all noticed that Bimmy was sitting next to him? Remember when they said that when Big U found out, and when he was like, since he'd been incarcerated, he found out who were some of the people that was getting down on him, and he tore up the visiting room is what they claim happened. I wonder if Bimmy was one, because you know Bimmy is an informant, so I wonder if Bimmy is one of them people that flipped on him too. I think so.
Drugs. Apparently, he was knuckling down and trying to also find positive influences behind the wall. During his long stint inside, he would meet people who would inspire him to evolve intellectually, such as Michael Harry O. Harris, a powerful LA figure who allegedly played a key role in helping Suge Knight found Death Row Records, and also played a part in the career of Denzel Washington. As a result, Big U would begin to read and write, as well as studying subjects like theology, as he would later recount in interviews. Meanwhile, on the outside, Corrupt would keep Big U's name alive in his music, shouting him out in songs like one of his biggest hits, We Can Freak It. Big U would also keep losing people close to him to the streets while he was inside, like his brother Dwayne Dupree, who worked as a bodyguard for the Dog Pound duo of Corrupt and Daz Dillinger, and was sadly killed as gunmen opened fire outside of a recording studio. But Big U would eventually end up only doing 13 years in prison, getting out in 2004 at 37 years old. Conveniently, right as the Rollin' 60s had become, quote, the largest black criminal street gang in the city of Los Angeles. However, Big U wouldn't lose sight of those positive influences that he had gleaned behind bars, and he decided to reinvent himself as a community advocate, starting his non-profit called Developing Options. Their website would claim that Big U started the organization because he wanted to provide the youth of his neighborhood the support that he didn't get when he was growing up. In 2025, the program claimed to have served over 6,000 people while having partnerships with hundreds of agencies. The website even boasts a 90% reduction in community gang violence, and the program has some major supporters, such as perhaps the most famous Crip in the world, Snoop Dogg. But Big U would also keep building his career in the music industry, and after getting released, Corrupt would introduce him to the head of Death Row Records, Suge Knight, who would help Big U financially to get back on his feet and take him under his wing as a mentor. The two became without a doubt the most respected, or at least the most feared duo that the hip-hop industry had ever seen. But Big U's ferocious attitude to the music industry would mirror Suge's approach, and unfortunately, this meant that for the artists that entered Big U's orbit, some would have runaway success, but others would seemingly suffer sudden and tragic downfalls, which of course brings us to the tragic story of Nipsey Hussle.
I'm a good gift giver. She is.
This season, I wanted to make sure to give to my biggest supporters, my family.
It's a piece.
After getting out of prison, notorious Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crip, Big U, would learn how to play hardball in the music industry from none other than Suge Knight. The infamous Blood who had ruled the West Coast rap game with an iron fist was rumored to have used murder and extortion tactics to get ahead in the music biz. From his violent altercations in the lead up to the death of NWA's Eazy-E to the rumored incident where Vanilla Ice was allegedly dangled off a balcony and forced to sign over his lucrative royalties, eventually though, the law and his enemies would catch up with Suge Knight's hardline tactics and crack down on his operation. But by the time Suge Knight's downfall had begun, Big U was already in the game and decided to spread his wings and do his own thing. Apparently whilst inside prison, Big U, along with his right-hand man, Mark Martin, aka Bear Claw, founded an independent record label, Unique Music, in 1996. Big U would use the label to scout potential up-and-coming musical talent, and his deep street connections would lead him to the paths of some of LA's most legendary rappers. It turned out that Big U's nephew actually knew a young, talented Rollin' 60s rapper who went by the name Nipsey Hussle. Big U would begin to help Nipsey using his many industry contacts, ultimately landing him a major spotlight with a verse on Tupac's 2006 posthumous album, Pac's Life. Nip featured with Young Dre and Tupac himself on the song International, which gave Nipsey's career a massive boost.
Him and Big Draws put that together, and LT Hutton. They really had a resume at that time to justify it, but he gave me a shot. And a lot of that was based on the relationship he had with Draws and Steve.
And I remember buying the physical CD seeing Tupac featuring Nipsey Hussle on the back of it, that was huge for me.
Big U later reposted a clip from a Diverse Mentality documentary on Nipsey, along with a caption saying that it was an honor to give him the shot. Big U was playing a major role in Nipsey's come-up, leading Nipsey to drop his first real single and music video titled Bullets Ain't Got No Names in 2006. Nipsey would get support from Big U through the creation of an entire Bullets Ain't Got No Name full-length mixtape series, but story has it that Nipsey wanted to leave a bad deal that he'd got into with Big U's unique label.
So I signed him to it was signed to a 10-year production contract, which started in 2009, which would end 2019.
Crazy.
Big U, on the other hand, has explained in the Drink Champs podcast that he stopped managing Nipsey after a promotional tour when police discovered drugs in one of their vehicles. And although someone would take the charges, Nipsey and others began acting differently towards Big U, which he interpreted as a breakdown in trust.
Radiator cap off, took the apart, stuck us in, I can't remember where we was for 3 days. They took the and scanned it from the router to the tutor, found what they wanted on it, put it back together, gave it to us. I flew back home. When I fly home, we get hit. I get hit at home. They had 21 people. They think they got him. Anyway, make a long story short, he ended up turning himself in, take the case off all of us. He get life, right, for the drugs. When that happened, my team is acting weird. So I'm looking at Steve, I'm looking at Nip, man, get a paperwork from Sony so they can see that we leasing all this. They acting weird. So, me, I'm still kind of like, hey, I'm hot, hot and heavy, but I'm like, I can't with y'all. So you never see me on the tour no more.
And that's when the problem was
No problem never happened. Okay. We didn't have a problem.
Okay.
Wasn't nobody making no money.
Right.
But particularly after Big U's arrest, many have theorized that it may have been Big U who was using Nipsey's tours as a cover to smuggle drugs to different cities, and this was possibly making Nipsey nervous and looking for ways out.
I think Big U was using the tour bus, Nipsey's tour bus, to at least sometime or possibly do drug drop-offs, pick up money, and it was making Nipsey hot. He was seeing himself about to take off. He wanted no parts.
Whatever the case, after the two stopped working together, Big U wanted back some of his studio equipment so his son could also use them to record music, something which apparently angered Nipsey.
That's when they got upset, and he made the song. I don't rap,
that song never came out.
It did come out.
It did come out?
It did come out.
Oh.
It wasn't never pushed as a song, but it came out, and I don't rap, I scrap.
Disagreements would lead to Nipsey making a diss song about Big U, a song titled You Don't Got a Clue from his 2010 mixtape The Marathon, where Nipsey got some things off his chest, rapping how somebody, likely Big U, doesn't have a clue about what they want to do for Nip's career, saying that he's not going to stop for them and that he doesn't want somebody controlling him, rapping how he came up tough so he was never looking at Big U for a solution to his problems, and suggesting that his former team never really helped him push his career forward. Nip would rap F the middleman, and he would end his verse saying don't expect any favors from him because he wasn't given any favors. According to Loose Cannon, who's probably not the most reliable narrator, Big U would confront Nipsey about the track and challenge him to a fight where Nipsey would then supposedly move and dance around Big U so fast that he would leave him exhausted, almost like a scene from an old school action comedy.
And he was like, hey cuz, is this song about me? So Nipsey stood up or whatever and was like, yeah, cuz it's about you. So he was drinking some water out of a water bottle and he threw it on Nipsey, right? He was like, we're gonna have to.
And this right here shows you, Trap, that this shit ain't gonna get no cred, even if it is a lot of truth in this documentary that you're doing, or whatever this is that you're doing. This dude here is a known liar, a proven liar. But you choose to use his clip in the video. I don't give a damn if what he's saying is accurate. You know what I'm saying? He is automatically disqualified for being outed as a known pathological fucking liar. And this is who you choose to put in this hit piece. I'm gonna call it right now. I'm gonna call it a hit piece.
Or whatever. So he thought Nipsey was gonna back down. Nipsey stood up and was like, okay, cuz let's go get down. They were just dancing around or whatever like that. He was trying to get Nipsey or whatever, but Nipsey was just moving, dancing and stuff like that. And he couldn't hit Nipsey, so he got tired. So.
How long does it take to launch a streaming ad on Vibe.co?
Oh, I'm gonna say a day.
he knew he didn't get Nipsey the way he wanted to get Nipsey, right?
An unsatisfied Big U then allegedly got the whole gang involved, calling Nipsey up to get disciplined and allegedly beating him up before Black Sam fired into the air, stopping the fight, leading to police being called and breaking things up. Wack100 would later claim that Big U actually knocked Nipsey Hussle out during their fight.
First time they first fall out, when they first got Nipsey signed, Nipsey come back, was a fallout, they went down, there was a fight, rumble happened. I believe Big U knocked Nipsey out. Black Sam comes out, fires 3-4 shots in the air. He's fresh out the penitentiary. Police sitting right across the street, they see it. They come in, they arrest everybody. Black Sam's on parole.
Now, there's some conflicting reasons circulating for this exact fight. It's been rumored that Nipsey Hussle has a daughter by a mother that was allegedly Big U's niece, or at least a close family friend. There was allegedly an incident circulating in a Reddit post where it was claimed that Nipsey actually beat up another man who had been dating his baby's mother after they split up, with Nip administering this beatdown because the man was apparently creating an unsafe environment for their daughter, with it being believed that the woman might have even got harmed herself in the scuffle, leading Big U to be furious at Nipsey. Ultimately though, Nipsey and Big U would eventually squash their beef and didn't have any more public animosity in the years that followed. But Nipsey's brother Black Sam seemingly always had an issue with Big U, and apparently this was reciprocated.
And then I'm gonna keep it 100. Me and his brother wasn't cool. Me and his brother weren't the best of friends. You gotta understand, like I'm gonna have friends that my mama ain't gonna like. I'm gonna have friends that my brother's not gonna like. You gonna have people that your people don't like. You know what I'm saying?
Nipsey's Rollin' 60s gang ties would be the ultimate liability throughout his career to the very end. A planned private performance in 2010 saw a massive bust on the Rollin' 60s members that he was affiliating with.
People under arrest after police raid a nightclub where dozens of members of an LA street gang were partying.
Police received information that gang members of the Rolling 60s, a violent South LA gang, would be holding a private party here at the Platinum Club here in Studio City. So they decided it would be a good time to do a gang sweep. Now take a look. It all went down around 2 in the morning. The Platinum Club was surrounded by dozens of officers. They arrested about 40 people they say are gang members of the gang Rolling 60s. Officers say they learned of the so-called hood party several days before the big event. Now outside of the club, the marquee had a sign there that said who was headlining the party. They are Nipsey Hussle and Dealmakers International. You can also see the number 6x10. Now, police say that was the secret Rolling 60s gang sign. An officer from North Hollywood was the first to approach the front door of the club, and he says that he was rushed by a group of people inside the club. He called for help, and officers from all areas responded immediately. Now, officers say this gang sweep will clearly cripple the illegal activities of the Rolling 60s gang, at least for a while.
As time went on, Nipsey would do more things that reportedly angered Big U, like bringing Treetop Pyru rapper YG to the Rollin' 60s hood for the music video for the song Sitches Ain't Bit in 2011. Apparently Nipsey had to fight multiple Rollin' 60s after this perceived violation, but this didn't stop his role, and later Nipsey would even return the favor, attending YG's hood to film the music video for I'm a Thug that featured Meek Mill. This was a video that ironically had footage of fellow Rollin' 60 Brick Baby getting arrested. But anyway, as Nip's career grew, it seemed that Big U's stance towards Nipsey had softened, and he was showing him respect publicly, with Big U being seen doing a speech in Nipsey's honor in 20...
Damn, he danced around that Brick Baby part, didn't he? Yeah, you know, I guess he is a little different than Adam 22. You know what I'm saying? I guess he is a little different. You know, he'll protect a little the couple that he do rock with or is cool with, but he smooth went around that one, though. Salute to my man, Mr. Malone in the building. Salute to you, my guy. I've been busy, man. I'm on the phone with my daughter because she coming out here. I was on the phone with her. She texted my girl and monitoring the chat. I didn't get a chance to speak to you, brother. Dominique Mayweather also, man. Salute to you, bro. Appreciate you being here, man. Anybody in the chat I didn't shout you out, man, my apologies. I've just been doing a couple of things. I mean, I'm just making sure. Sosa Boss. I can't say it, but salute to you. All right, let's go.
2018, during an event for his Developing Options non-profit, where rap heavyweights like T.I. and Wiz Khalifa were also in attendance.
Look who came through. Yeah, you know, I got my all black on, man. You know, all black everything. Steve Maniac Lobel, day one right here, you know.
Big U, what up, baby? Be you and Lobel. So
you need that. Yeah, that's legendary.
Woo! Remember that. He did what no other rappers do today. He sold his own music. He sold his own music. So when I came along and Steve came along, we had a formula that merged with what he do. But He outworked any artist I've seen. I'm talking about business-wise. I'm not talking about on the mic. Because if you notice, this man is a more professional than 90% of the dudes who are trying to grow to his level. But I'm saying that to our young baby, to a T, he outworked a whole lot of people. And this is the reason why we are giving him the award, the Businessman Award, because he really exudes everything that you need to exercise in business. So let's give this man a hand and clap it up for him. I'm talking about, I came to his house and
I'm glad he did get his flowers before he left us. I really, I love that. And I appreciate Big U doing that. He actually gave that man his flowers before he left here, man. So many of us leave here without getting those flowers, you know, so we can smell them and enjoy them. But Nipsey did. Nipsey will sorely be missed and never forgotten. It never shouldn't have happened. Ever shouldn't have happened. But in life, things just happen, man. It's just, you can't explain it. Like that shit I can't even explain. But I think it's way more to it than what is on the surface. Because then we didn't know a lot of what we know now on these informants and who they are and what they do. We didn't know any of this stuff. You know, what happened to Baby Huey, rest in peace. I think it was, you know, motive behind that. Same thing I think with Nip. I do.
he lived in all places in A-Train neighborhood and was really, he really had a mic in his closet and was recording his own self.
Car accidents happen, and when they do, you need a strong legal team on your side. Hi, I'm Colin Jones, senior partner.
Remember that.
And at one point, Big U would even crip walk on stage, and Nipsey would in return honor Big U in his speech, saying how everybody in the hood saw him as a leader.
And see what that turned into, him putting pressure on us to just stay focused, you know, standing in front of us as young dudes from the area. And always, I remember he like, you know, it's not gonna be one room I walk into that my homeboys can't walk into with me. And I always respected and looked up to him as a leader and as somebody that was just a real man. And I love to see everybody out here tonight dressed up, looking good. You know, I think we gotta give him a round of applause as well. And like I said, I love you, bro. We're gonna keep pushing. Day one. Thank y'all.
Nipsey was having massive success, culminating in the release of his critically acclaimed 2018 debut studio album, Victory Lap, where he would even shout out Big U, aka Big Draws.
And I'm eating breakfast.
My shirt drunk, yeah, all that. I've been working. I ain't saved everything, man. Victory Lap coming soon.
He wasn't gonna save anyway.
I wasn't, but I was gonna change my shirt though. I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? But I'm working.
We will let y'all hear some music, but you gotta wait to pay for it. Ain't no free no more.
It's coming.
And you ain't downloading it, we're gonna put a tag. If you steal the music,
you up.
Coming to your house and putting that
car wash when you got your tent set up. We gonna beat you.
But in March 2019, Nipsey allegedly angered Big U once again by bringing DJ Khaled to the 60s hood and not asking permission. They were there to shoot a music video for Khaled's song Higher that featured Nipsey and John Legend. Allegedly, Big U sent Rollin' 60s members to the shoot to cause trouble, causing Nipsey and Khaled to have to finish the shoot in a parking lot. TMZ, on the other hand, claimed from their sources at the video shoot that Nipsey had seemingly received threats on his life before the shoot had even taken place, and that he was apparently prepared with an exceptionally large security team. They would also claim that it was actually during the filming at the parking structure in Inglewood where Nipsey's team were concerned about somebody from the local Bloods coming to kill him. Some people online would also claim that Big U was actually cool with Nipsey at this time, but it was really a bunch of younger Rolling 60s members that just wanted to rob DJ Khaled, causing trouble, with there also being reports of some friction between some Rolling 60s and Inglewood Blood members that might have caused some tension at the shoot.
I believe that 100%, and that's why I see DJ Khaled with Big U right before he got locked up, showing that there's no issue between the two. I believe that too. I think a lot of shit that happened all the way up into Big U getting locked up and Nipsey being unalive was all set up. It was setups. It was traps. It was this to make him look. I'm telling you, man, this is a complicated, complex type of thing. Once they got away with doing what they did to Tupac and Biggie and the way that they did it, man, the sky's the limit, bro.
Nipsey's brother, Black Sam, would later seemingly confirm that someone had indeed pressed them at the video shoot, but wouldn't specify exactly who it was.
Not to get into too much detail, but there was a lot of big politics getting into it with certain people. You know, Hustle had DJ Khaled in the hood. Not to be speaking too much on it, but we came frontline like we always do. And, you know, gonna know we gonna crash out behind it. Back, we not playing. Ain't nobody saying nothing to Khaled. Ain't nobody doing nothing to Khaled. And he's straight. And Hustle frontline that. And, you know, we felt like certain people didn't like that.
But whatever the case, only a few days later, Nipsey would tragically be gunned down in front of his Marathon clothing store in the Rolling 60s hood, less than a mile away from Big U's childhood stomping grounds on Arlington Avenue. Nipsey was gunned down by a man named Eric Holder, known in the streets as a fellow member of the Rolling 60s who was allegedly mad at Nipsey for accusing him of being a snitch. Eric Holder is also an old close friend of one of the other names mentioned in the new RICO case, the rapper and No Jumper host Brick Baby, real name Zaire Mitchell, another 60 that uses the moniker as a street name.
That day he got put on, we came up with the name. That was like a name that was really made for him, but he can't come in and be big. So being my big homie, oh, that's, you know what I'm saying, that's big, and I'm little, are you gonna be baby?
But anyway, following Nipsey's murder, different conspiracy theories would begin to spread about his death, suggesting that it might have been more than just a random argument with a low-level Rolling 60s member. One of these theories being that Big U had somehow been involved in the murder himself, particularly as he would seemingly tell different versions about where he had been the day of the murder, as well as having a motive due to the rumors that Nipsey had allegedly refused to re-sign a contract to be under Big U's label.
And for those who don't know, Big U is said to be responsible for the death of Nipsey Hussle. This is what a lot of people are saying, and it's because he keeps changing his story about the day that Nipsey Hussle died.
We actually was on 6th Ave with 100 cars. We got all the streets blocked. We waiting on UK to come out the house. Everybody phone blowing up. Nip got hit. Nip got hit. We flying up there. We fly up there and we see the scene.
And then like later on, he would forget he said that, and then he'd go on live on IG and say that he wasn't even in town the day that Nipsey died.
Y'all was accusing me of I ain't even do. And what's funny, I wasn't even in town. So figure that one out. But I ain't gonna address that.
And Nipsey Hussle was signed to Big U, to Big U's record label, and that contract was due to be up, and Nipsey Hussle wasn't going to re-sign. So that provided motive, okay?
So I signed him to it. It was signed to a 10-year production contract, which started in 2009, which would end 2019.
Crazy.
I bet this is pretty easy to assemble. Or maybe not. Does anybody have an elf?
Hey everyone, Sean here from the 2XKO team.
And I'm Michael Sherman, Esports Director for 2XKO.
With the year,
Big U reportedly also didn't attend Nipsey's funeral, and an IG Live sometime after the murder would appear to show Big U laughing when somebody commented justice for Nip, and going on to say that people are waiting for him to do an interview.
What you waiting on, though? You don't know what you waiting on, though. What you waiting on? You got to tell us what you waiting on. Damn, my mama broke you with a
justice for Nip.
Or your boy would have been there like, yeah, you got it. Everybody that was showing the shit.
You did. You did.
However, the day after Nipsey was killed, Big U would post what seemed to be a heartfelt tribute to Nipsey, with a caption that said how hurt he was at the news, whilst also interestingly pointing out that the last time he spoke to Nipsey was 3 days ago at the DJ Khaled video shoot, something that no one really publicly knew at that time, with Big U saying in the caption that when they were at the video shoot together, they had spoken about building a school, which some have taken as Big U actually trolling, given the fact that it was rumored that a much more tense conversation had taken place at that shoot. Even back then, people were getting straight in the comments on Big U's post, saying that he was the one who set Nipsey up to get killed. And as time went on, Big U would post more tributes to Nipsey to his Instagram page, with yet more comments continuing to reference a possible setup and the DJ Khaled music video. Less than a week after Nipsey's murder, Big U took to Instagram to announce a peace march in the hood in Nipsey's memory.
Greetings to everybody. To get this message today, we are having a vigil for Nipsey Hussle at 3 to 5 today for all the different gangs in LA that want to come out and support. Over the last 2 days, we have been having meetings amongst us, A-Trays, Rolling 60s, Hoovers, East Coasters, Bounty Hunters, and everybody like mind to come together. We're going to ask that everybody come to Crenshaw and Slauson, be there by 3. We want everybody to park in the Rouse parking lot.
We're going to be escorting everybody from the Ralph parking lot to the memorial. It's not open to the public. It's only for LA street gangs, Bloods, Crips with the like mind and want to support and pay homage to one of our lost soldiers, one of our good brothers and teachers and leaders. So it's open from 3 to 5.
And this indeed went ahead. Over a year after Nipsey was killed, Big U proudly showed off that he had met and recorded a podcast with DJ Khaled and Fat Joe, posting a video where he seemed to be very happy to be with DJ Khaled, specifically with Khaled returning the love and shouting out Big U.
That's right, love, Big U.
There you go.
That's
legend.
And clips were posted by Big U's label, Unique Music, with captions saying that they miss Nipsey. After Nipsey's death, there was a post on Unique Music's Instagram page claiming that Big U was the person who had introduced Nipsey to the world, but people in the comments would continue to claim that Big U was responsible for what happened, once again suggesting that Nipsey was set up by Big U for trying to leave him behind. After Nipsey's death, Big U posted Nipsey along with references to his Unique label numerous times, including one ominous post where he put up a video of Nipsey saying that he can't follow other people, they should be following him.
Blind can't lead the blind, bro.
Yes,
Somebody
sir.
gotta have a vision.
Yes, sir.
And you gotta follow who got the vision. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes,
if you
sir.
stuck on stupid, I ain't gonna judge you or have no disrespect for you, but I'm
gonna be
not-
over here.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna follow you or take heed to your opinion. You're gonna have to follow what I'm doing.
I heard
and
that.
after a while, that way of thinking versus this way of thinking, more people lean toward this way because of the results.
And in the 2025 indictment, it was claimed that in a monitored conversation, Big U even suggested that he was the biggest Rollin 60 member ever, specifically saying that he was bigger than Nipsey Hussle. But despite the passing years, the rumors of Big U's involvement never went away, and people online would continue to speculate endlessly about potential conspiracy surrounding Nipsey's passing. Big U would comment on the rumors directly on numerous occasions, like in a 2022 No Jumper appearance, where he said that he was just associated with the murder of Nipsey because he's a very famous Rollin 60s member, and suggesting that he had a great relationship with Nipsey, and people are just spreading the rumor for money and clout.
Like how we was beefing when all his songs, every album he put out, since we had the so-called altercation, he shouted me out.
However, in 2024, Nipsey's brother Black Sam would do a podcast with Big Boy, alluding to someone being sent to kill Nipsey, rather than this just being an isolated crash out.
It is random as what the public thought it was. Like, Nip seen somebody, Eric, and talked, and
I mean, you know, he already got convicted, so for me, without going into too many details, so for me, he felt he was supposed to do a job, or somebody sent him, or whatever. It just don't make no sense. It's not random, you know.
It's never too late to learn anything, especially something as important as taking control of your finances.
It's gonna come to the light.
Loose Cannon, a former ally of Big U and one of the co-defendants in the upcoming case, actually revealed on No Jumper that Big U had told him Nipsey was dead before it even happened, with Loose Cannon saying that Big U had prior knowledge of Nipsey's death before it all went down, mentioning on the phone to him, which led him to call Nipsey Hussle moments before the shooting took place.
He FaceTimed me. So he FaceTimed me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, sick, so I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey, and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered the phone, and I was like, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that.
Did you tell him the call you just got, or you didn't even mention it?
I didn't mention it. And that's what fucked me up, because my cousin is Nipsey baby mama. You get what I'm saying? So it was like, I could have probably stopped it, or it had it.
Stop what? You mean that?
No, because listen. So after I talked to Nipsey, and I was like, "Yeah, I love you, cuz," or whatever like that. I see you later, or whatever. So I hung up the phone. I thought Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey, and so I'm like,
Wait. You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got killed.
Yeah.
You panic, called Nip. Nip answered the phone.
Yep, and
you
we
like
were just
okay.
talking on regular. So it's like at the end of the day, I didn't even think about it because
You don't even warn him that you got that call from dude.
No, because their relationship was so fucked up. It'd be like they be hot one minute, then they be cold the next minute, and then they be lukewarm. Like you
And
just
30
never
minutes after you get off the phone with Nip, he get killed.
Yeah, I got it.
So
all
you
on
think
the
he hit
TV
you
show.
a little too early?
This clip actually led to a cease and desist being served on No Jumper, and Adam22 being advised to remove the content from his channel.
So everybody knows I got a cease and desist about
the loose cannon interview that I did with Wack100, and a cease and desist showed up from the one and only. Never thought my life would go in this direction. Never thought I would be getting a legal notice from the big man himself.
Oh,
Big
yeah, I just seen
you.
Big U said he ain't feeling that
Big
shit.
Lucifer.
Big
Is that a diss? I think that's a whack term. I don't want to say that. So from our perspective, we have decided to back away from this. This is not a narrative that I was really interested in pushing in the first place. The idea that Big U had any sort of, criminal doings in his adult life, or that, that he was involved with anything with Nipsey. This is not something I ever really bought in on. It was kind of a surprise to me that it got trotted out on the podcast. I don't have to make this kind of statement about why we decided to remove it or whatever, but I did ultimately make the decision to take it down.
Interestingly though, when the 2025 criminal complaint dropped, it would turn out that Loose Cannon wasn't just anybody claiming Big U's involvement, but he was in fact an alleged former enforcer for Big U, conducting robberies on his behalf as part of an extortion racket later described by the criminal complaint as Big U Enterprises. But even more crazy, even before the criminal complaint revealed these bombshell allegations, Loose Cannon would openly tell stories about these robberies that he did for Big U on the No Jumper podcast for the whole world to hear. When the 2025 criminal complaint dropped on Big U, the world will be introduced to a dark trail of alleged crimes. But the complaint itself wraps up all of these activities under one umbrella organization, with the so-called Big U Enterprise allegedly engaging in an array of criminal activity, including extortion, robbery, murder, human trafficking, wire fraud, bank fraud, other financial crimes, obstruction of justice, illegal debt collection, illegal gambling, and conspiracy to commit fraud. Some of these crimes seem absolutely crazy in the modern day and make you think more of the Black Hand mafia extortion seen in the Godfather movies than gangbangers in South Central LA. In fact, Big U actually previously referred to his life as a modern day mafia story, but things were much more complicated than that, because to cloak this alleged criminal activity, according to the complaint, Big U's non-profit was at the front and center, and this, along with his persona he presented to the public as a reformed gang member, actually allowed Big U to navigate both the criminal underworld and the halls of legitimate power and business at the same time. His non-profit umbrella organization, Developing Options, which controls a number of seemingly innocent entities attempting to do positive work in the community, actually received over $500,000 from the GRID program controlled by the City of LA, with a total of over $2.3 million from the City of LA being handed over, hundreds of thousands of which Big U allegedly withdrew personally as a salary. He would also allegedly embezzle funds that were meant for community work, in a practice where he would solicit donations from celebrities for his charities, then taking the money for himself personally. The criminal complaint later called Big U's organizations a front and part of a plan for Big U to control the streets of LA undercover, and according to wiretaps, Big U's persona as a reformed community activist was just a facade, and behind the scenes he was openly claiming how he was still the same man that they said he once was. Big U was also heard on a wiretap saying that no one can beef with him because he'd kill them, apparently even later bragging to someone about being the only gangster from his era still murdering people in the modern day and age. Big U's alleged right-hand man and enforcer and underboss was a man named Sylvester Robinson, aka Vay, with Mark Martin, aka Bearclaw, being a trusted lieutenant. Big U's name and crew pulled a lot of weight and called a lot of shots in LA for decades, particularly when it came to the nightlife. There's one infamous story about Big U getting into a fight outside of a nightclub in 2014 and a rumored deadly wave of violence and extortion that came soon after. In a video posted by TMZ, Big U is seen trying to enter a club with his friend who's being turned away, who then attacks the security. Big U decides to back up his friend, getting into the fight and ending up being floored by the Samoan security team, being left bloodied and carried away by the police.
So you've been in a car accident, car's bent, neck stiff, not your fault, yeah? Let me guess, you're thinking, I'll sort it later.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Go, go, hey. Stop, 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 stop. Okay, you stop. I'm getting that boy out. Oh. Get off the dude, go, stop. Hey, you, Mike, hey, just stay down. Hold him, he's good. You, Mike. Hey, close the gate, Mike. Close it up. Hey, close it up. Get him inside.
Get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out right now. Go. Get him out.
Be cool. Just be cool.
I don't want him in this. I don't. Get out.
All right, cool. Get him out here. Back up. Come on. You, come on. You.
Big you straight girl?
Huh?
Hey, 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 hey. No, he just swung at my guard. Leave him on the ground.
No, he goes to jail. He goes to jail tonight.
Come on, nothing to see, guys. Let's go. Keep moving.
Hey guys, back up. Come on, what are you doing?
Big U later claimed that he had gone head-to-head with 15 Samoan security guards.
At the supper club up here. We was going in. It's only 30, 40 minutes left from the club. This dude hired something. Your homeboy house. Yeah, they won't let him in. I was like, I'm gonna stay out here with him. He just get off on the security guard for no apparent reason. Get off meaning? He just fired on the dude. Oh. All the security together is me by myself.
Big U, you straight, girl?
So I made the assessment. It's 15 of them. You fit to get your whooped. But how the rules go, I'm gonna get down where I'm mad at. I took flight. So when I'm on the ground, I'm wrestling with one dude came and kicked me. If you look at the film, he kicked me in the side of the face.
Back up. Come on. Hey, give me one fight diving over here. Back up, guys.
So the blood, while I'm on my back, wrestling with the blood filter in my eyes. So I couldn't see.
Hey guys, back up. Come on, what are you doing?
I think I did pretty good, me versus 15. You know what I'm saying?
Big U would also claim that in the aftermath, hundreds of goons from different gangs came to Hollywood following that incident to back him up.
And dudes from every set in LA really stood up and was offended by what they had seen. My homies is Bloods, that's Cubs, that's from every set was upset.
In a subsequent video, Big U is seen bloodied and in cuffs as rappers The Game and T.I., along with Big U's son and an army of 6-0s, square up to the police, initially believing that it was the police that brutalized Big U.
Are you trigger happy too? We not bothering you. You trigger happy? Hey, TMZ, put it on it. TMZ, hey, get the camera on Big U. Hey, listen, right now. Police didn't do it. Club security did.
Hey, T.I. Who did it? T.I.
Police didn't do it.
T.I.
Who did it? Club security did it.
But after the crowd realized that the security were responsible for jumping Big U, they begun to confront and scuffle with the security, with one of the people personally involved in beating up Big U taking off running from the mob.
Who did that to you? Who did that to you? Please. Who did it? They you up. Yo, people, who just did it? Who just did it? Put it down.
Hey, Scott, I got you.
Then, rapper The Game even squares up to security himself, ready to fight.
Look at Game sweating the security right now on the police.
Then, what sounded like young Rollin 60s members ready to crash out would escalate things further, looking for those responsible and saying that they had never seen Big U in that sort of state, with everyone trying to remove them from the situation before things escalate and get deadly.
I'm talking to you, 6-0 kid. I ain't never seen my like that. Who hit you though? Who hit you? Hey, what happened? No, I can calm the whole situation down. What happened? I can tell you.
Look, it's a whole Mexican standoff right now. We got a whole Mexican standoff with Game's crew and the police.
The Game would still try and square up to the security, who is saying that Big U has to go to jail tonight.
Watch your back, watch your back. Watch out, watch out.
The whole situation was a mess, and according to one rumor, this actually led to a gang war between the Rolling 60s, backed up by other gangs, and the Samoan security gangs that run the nightclub doors in Hollywood, with Big U saying in his Hip Hop Uncovered series how things got so serious that 4 to 5 people were expected to die over this, with some Redditors even taking this to mean that 5 people had indeed lost their lives as part of this beef.
It was a lot of violence against just clubs and security against clubs, and people expected 4 or 5 people to die. We got so many people dying over bull crap. I didn't really want to add to that. That's not the legacy I wanted to have. It was a misunderstanding, you know what I mean? Went too far. So we ended up shutting Hollywood down. We had to meet with the powers that be.
Now, I wasn't able to find any evidence or cases relating to murders that happened in Hollywood following this incident, but apparently after things reached a boiling point in the streets, the Supper Club and Big U had a meeting to try and resolve things. This ended in the Supper Club allegedly cutting Big U a check for $200,000 and doing a food drive for his community movement.
You know, we had sat down with the owners of the Supper Club. They wrote me a check for over $200,000. We used about $70,000, $80,000 to do a food giveaway, toys. It was amazing.
The Supper Club's giving all these free toys and food. They're underprivileged, right? And so I start talking to Big U, the organiser of the event. How come the Supper Club was so keen to be involved?
Well, we've been messing with them since back in, the incident we had. They want to reach out and help the community. For me, being able to take something bad that happened for me and turn it into a positive, instead of continue to let it be a negative, that's what I'm all about.
Supper Club later put out a public statement suggesting that Big U was the victim of a rogue security officer who took things too far, saying that Big U was not arrested and had no part in the violence, with club owners distancing themselves from the security that were working that night and promising that they would never book them again. Clearly, Big U was flesh and blood, like any man, and could also be caught slipping, but just as clearly from what came after, he was a formidable force in the streets who wouldn't accept this kind of violation lightly, and nightclubs would seemingly be a regular target for extortion attempts by the Big U.
Hey, Fantasy Bambi is in the chat. How you doing there, Queen? I was on the phone. My apologies. Thank you for pulling up and promoting in the chat. I appreciate that, Queen. I appreciate that. Given Light 706 is in the chat. Did I miss anybody? Won't let me see the chat now. God damn. Okay.
Enterprise. The 2025 criminal complaint would outline a situation where Big U shook down club owners, promising them T.I. and Wiz Khalifa to turn up to an event in exchange for 33% of the profits. These artists never turned up, but Big U demanded a $30,000 payment from the club, plus more of the profits, despite not keeping up his end of the deal, with a taped recording depicting Big U pressing the club owner and promising to tear the club up if he didn't get what he wanted, apparently vowing to bring 5,000 Rolling 60s members to destroy their club if he wasn't paid the money, and famous people weren't safe either. The criminal complaint would mention a litany of celebrities and athletes that had paid Big U a checking-in fee when coming to LA, checking in being an extortion method that out-of-town people often fall into, as they're pressured to get into contact with the local gang members, this often involving payments for protection and to not get robbed. The criminal complaint explained that checking in was a street tax that had to be paid to guarantee safety from gangs and criminals in the city, and according to the complaint, the Big U enterprise claimed control of LA and expected to collect tax from entertainers in the city conducting certain types of legit or illegal business. The criminal complaint outlined an incident where boxer Adrian Broner and his friends were part of a fixed dice game against some NBA players, who then checked in with Big U and allegedly paid him $100,000, after which Big U gathered his goons and went to confront Broner, allegedly roughing him up along with his friends for not checking in and for apparently cheating NBA players out of their money. But even as far back as 2020, people on Reddit would debate why Big U pretends to be a reformed gang member whilst also openly enforcing the checking in extortion method publicly. People knew that he was living a double life years ago, and this was an open secret in LA. Big U would even be seen in video clips on social media going to film sets where he had apparently forced the production to check in with him, saying that if they didn't, he would be taking all of their equipment.
Movie production in the hood. That's how we do it, young man.
Top flight, baby. Security.
GB running this here movie set in the hood.
Come on out here.
Coming out here and checking in with GB, getting these movies done. You better know it. You know what I mean? Anytime you want to do movies in the hood, just check it in. We can make sure it's done. Movies, videos. But if you don't check it in,
oh well. Check your
we're gonna check you in, all right. We're gonna check in all of your equipment. We're gonna check in all of your equipment.
Big U was openly the gatekeeper for LA check-ins, warning out-of-towners in numerous clips that if you choose not to check in, you're not safe, and you'll suffer the consequences, as well as saying that he too checks in when going to other cities.
When I go to Chicago, I respect Chicago wholeheartedly. I check in. When I go to Atlanta, I check in. When I go places, I check in. And I don't think nobody is safe. I know dudes right now from LA who are actual gang members who have been robbed for their jewelry, who real killers, like who really real killers. Like if he ever find out who did that, he gonna knock everybody down. You understand what I'm saying? You just caught slipping. You know, that's how it is. You know what I mean? And you try your best not to be slipping. And if you have the means not to, why do it? You know what I mean? And it's just about, sometimes it's about respecting, you know, yourself and then trying to get home. So, I mean, you know, I hear a lot of back and forth on that, but I mean, I don't know that it's a perfect answer other than me, myself, I check in.
But it appeared that Big U even had issues with podcasters like Gilly and Wallow of $1 Million worth of game.
Gilly and Wallow, they got a problem. I couldn't Philly, them the only two dudes I'm looking for. I got no problem with nobody else, no beef with nobody else but Gilly and Wallow right now.
Excuse me. Hey. Hi. If you can teach me something about marketing, this...
Wack100 and Loose Cannon would both tell academics that the Rolling 60s, on the orders of Big U, once stripped Gilly and his son and sold their jewelry for $100,000, with Wack100 also revealing that Nipsey Hussle allegedly ended up giving Gilly $20,000 back because he felt bad for him.
Man, you better ask Gilly.
Gilly, no?
No, Gilly got stripped down by the homies because of
You're
Big
lying.
U.
Wait, Gilly?
Yeah, the homie Rose and them stripped.
We're talking about Gilly the Kid. We're talking about the guy with the podcast. We're talking about.
Again, this is who you use to put in this to paint this picture. A liar, a known liar. Who said he wrote for 50 Cent. That's who you using as credible? It's amazing.
$1 million worth of game.
He got his son stripped down and they stripped down Gilly.
What do you, like for what? Like what? What do you mean? Gilly never got robbed though.
Yeah, him and his son got stripped. They stripped him in the 60s. Big U lined them up. They stripped them, took all their jewelry. And did it, came on the stage and said he did it. And get mad at me like I did it. I ain't did it. I ain't do it. I wasn't there.
No.
What mad at me for?
Gilly official from Philly, man. Gilly not going like that.
Gilly had his hands up in the mother air with his 2 kids. A father that couldn't protect his 2 kids. That's what he is. I told that, look, bro, don't be popping at me because with another saying, nigga, that from Rolling 60 Crip for real. Everybody know that is. He telling you, Big, you lined your punk ass up. Now, if you got your ass robbed over there, you and your kids, he said Nipsey went over there and gave it $20,000 because he felt bad for him.
However, it seems that whatever may have happened, Gilly would repair the relationship with Big U, as they could later be seen acting very friendly with each other. But no one was safe from the Rolling 60s extortion racket. But it seemed that the biggest targets were grey market businesses that couldn't rely on the law to protect them, particularly unlicensed smoke shop dispensaries, with Big U and his henchmen allegedly running an extortion racket where they would charge protection money to a store and rob them if they didn't pay up. In some cases, robbing them and giving some of the proceeds back if they agreed to line up other robberies and to prove what they were capable of doing. Footage of one armed dispensary robbery allegedly carried out by Rolling 60s on a dispensary that happened to be owned by Nipsey Hussle and Black Sam would even circulate on Reddit, and this is where Loose Cannon enters the picture. According to some sources, Loose Cannon, real name Tremaine Ashley Williams, had a tough upbringing in South Central LA, losing his father to a death sentence in prison. Loose found himself deep in the politics of LA streets and prison yards, eventually turning to the music business as a producer, making beats for people around him like Nipsey and Draco the Ruler, before turning to rapping himself, collaborating with Nipsey Hussle during his come-up, and allegedly almost getting signed by none other than Dr. Dre, who according to Loose produced his song Bringin' California Back featuring Nipsey Hussle and YG. But in the end, Dr. Dre ended up signing Kendrick Lamar, as he considered him to be the safer choice who didn't have as many potentially disruptive ties to the streets.
Some peace in it, man.
Yeah.
You had a record with him in 2013, right?
Yeah. Bringing California Back, produced by Dr. Dre, with featuring YG.
Hold on, you said produced by Dre.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Like Andre Young.
Yeah.
Oh, worked with Dre?
Yeah.
How closely did you work with Dre on that? You just got the beat, or you were able to link with him?
When I went to jail, he was like, he wanted to sign me or whatever. It was me, Nip, and Kendrick Lamar. So at the end of the day, he was like, y'all getting people killed, out there. I don't want to be around with this gangbang. I learned my lesson from dealing with the last situation and he chose Kendrick Lamar.
That makes sense. Like,
however, in another early interview, Luce would also imply that he was in fact the producer of the song, making the melody of the beat with a church piano while being locked up.
So you basically wrote everything. Did you produce that track too, right?
Yeah, I produced it. I did everything.
So like, you know, when you're in jail, like how were you able to like, you know, kind of make that beat?
Like they had like church, right?
Okay.
I used to go in the church, use the keyboards like that. That's how I did it. I was like, and it came out dope. So.
No, for real. I remember that was the first song I actually heard, you know, that you created and that you were in. You know, I was like, hell yeah, this is dope as hell, you know, because you had YG and Nipsey, and it was about, you know, like kind of like, you know, bringing Cali back, you know, the hard, you know, just like kind of a party vibe with it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just like when I do music, and people don't even understand like the hook, me singing on it, like rapping. I did like, so it's like I do everything. I make it easier for other artists.
Perhaps the beat might have been a collaboration between Luce and Dre, although according to a poster that was posted by Luce himself, the producer is tagged as Buckwheat on the beat, but perhaps this version was a remake. But anyway, Luce has indeed allegedly racked up production credits and writing credits on projects with numerous major artists like Rihanna, Snoop Dogg, The Game, Nas, and 50 Cent, and he supposedly even worked as the opening act for Drake and 21 Savage during their It's All a Blur tour, although he's not included in the Wikipedia page about the tour for some reason. These discrepancies seem to raise some interesting questions about Luce's background, or lack thereof. In fact, according to Luce's twin brother Jermaine Williams, much of Luce Cannon's alleged music production credits are actually not true at all.
Even though he has a little bit of music on his platform, he's got the Draco song, he's got the Nipsey song, he has claimed all kind of music success with people that I know for a fact he doesn't even know. He don't know Nas. But the Luce Cannon that I know has worked with Nas for probably a decade. He doesn't know none of these other people that he's claimed to produce, that he's worked with. Have you heard some of his claims of his music success?
I could only go by what I did for him. Like he have songs with, you know, Game. He got songs with J-Rock. He got songs with Nip, YG. Songs that I produce. I can't speak on anything that he's produced. I mean, that I heard little clips. People send me little clips. He would have been too young to work with these folks when they was doing their music and they did hits and all that stuff. So if people wants to believe the that he says.
En Morgan & Morgan hemos recuperado más de $20 millones.
So be it. All I could do is say what I did with him.
Moreover, LA YouTuber Street TV, together with guests like the rappers Munchie B and Spider Loke, have claimed that Luce has stolen his entire public persona from an older hip-hop industry insider that also has the name Luce Cannon.
Got me on this Luce Cannon, anti-Luce Cannon, anti-fake Luce Cannon campaign is because I have a personal friend that I've known since, I want to say 13 years old, 14 maybe, that goes by the name Luce Cannon. That's been in the music business since I've known him. That he's introduced me to some of the biggest rappers that I've ever met. I met them through the real Luce Cannon.
Because you guys, I believe this is the reason why Luce Coochie Lips Cannon chose Luce Cannon as a name to run with, because of the credits that were already attached to it and the lack of a apparent profile that was so obvious. Because if you from rolling anything, especially 60s, I don't care if it's 90s, 40s, 30s, anything, and you have a name that includes O's, to eliminate the O's is so contrary to what we do when we play with words and represent what we represent. He had to take that name for the purpose of receiving the exact same credit that your partner was getting.
The real Luce Cannon hit me up during the MySpace years.
That's what it was, MySpace.
And he asked me, who is this dude, Luce Cannon? He's supposed to be from 60s. And I remember I think he called Steve Lobel because he knew Steve Lobel was tapped into the 6-0s. And he said that, I think Steve Lobel told him that, oh, it ain't nobody, there's nothing to worry about.
My mama, dad, homies, daughters, lokes, loved ones, everything I love and live for, my sister and my sons. Just the same thing I did. It wasn't Steve, but I hollered at Big U. He called me back with the exact same report, bro. Back in 06, when I ran across this mother content of Loose Coochie Lips Cannon lying on me, claiming he had met me and disrespected me, and I had no idea he existed.
Told you, don't say cuz, you not no crip.
Look how far he would go. That's why you guys know. He been trying this since 06.
Normally, I wouldn't care.
Right.
But I grew up with the real Loose Cannon.
Right.
The real Loose Cannon is getting calls all the time about what this dude is doing, about claims that he's been with other celebrities that the real Loose Cannon never been with. So he's got to take these calls. Nah, I never did a song for 50 Cent. He has worked with Nas. He has worked with some major dudes.
Right.
This dude, the fake dude, is just
I seen that some major,
putting it all out there.
Robbing dispensaries is one thing, but robbing song credits and your entire career history is just wild. But Loose's former partner, Jasmine Gigi Adams, also told Street TV that Loose has told many outlandish lies about himself, painting him as a possible pathological liar.
Tremaine, he kind of gets you into a place. I mean, it's real intense. When he first meets you, as you guys can all see, I'm sure, from the interviews that everybody has seen, the lies are outlandish, and he's very good at, when he's outed for the lies, he'll come up with an even bigger lie. And then he's got, little minions around him to support the lies, and then, next thing you know, you don't know what to believe, even though you have the proof in front of your face.
Okay, all right. How about Nas?
No, Nas is cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
what was it like when you were working with him?
It was just like, cuz was gifted a whole nother level. So it was like a different vibe. It was like out of here. It's like a different atmosphere.
What did you do with him?
Produce for him.
Oh, what did you produce?
The song with him and what's that factory? I produced so many records, I'll be forgetting the damn names.
But I think that was kind of the reason why I stayed, because the fake Tremaine didn't have, it's not like he had tons of money or anything when I met him. So I think it was more so about myself. It was just me.
When you look back at it, was there anything about him that you actually liked?
He was very persistent.
I'm Cheney Winslow, and this is Ask the Lawyers. The legal woes for Johnson & Johnson are...
He was very persistent. He was showered you right away with just like flowers, very persistent and, taking you out, kind of just treating you like, like a lady. He never pressured you for sex or anything like that. He was just very persistent, kind of came off as a gentleman. And then, of course, he's, telling you these lavish stories. I own Subways, I own GameStops, I have my life together type thing and stuff like that. And I had my own businesses too. So it was kind of like he makes you feel like you've met your match.
But whatever the case, Loose Cannon would eventually find himself in the podcast world, appearing frequently on LA's leading rap culture podcast, No Jumper, arguably becoming a loose link when it came to the secretive code of the streets. But before Loose had fully transitioned to a more sanitized media presence, he was allegedly towing the line for Big U in the streets, specifically conducting robberies of dispensaries that were being shaken down. According to the criminal complaint, on July the 5th, 2021, a robbery went down at an unlicensed dispensary that had been paying up to $25,000 a month to the Big U enterprise, but they ultimately got tired of being extorted and decided to stop paying up. On that day, 11 thugs were sent to the store, including Loose Cannon personally, with them running into the dispensary with guns and masks, robbing the store of cash, stock, and even sticking up the customers. Apparently during the robbery, one of the masked men put the store owner on the phone with Big U, who invited the victim to his home, and when he arrived there, he found Big U and the robbers with the proceeds of the robbery, telling the victim that he just robbed himself, giving him back some of the stolen things and demanding $10,000 so it doesn't happen again. Now, this is a crazy extortion method as it is, but to make matters even more crazy, years later, after falling out with Big U whilst on the No Jumper podcast, Loose Cannon would discuss this incident openly, saying how he found it strange how Big U would send them out on robberies and then the victims would later turn up to take their things back.
So basically it's like, cause he'll be like, he'll manipulate things, like we'll go and do something and as soon as we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later when we trying to counting everything, right? And we be like, how the f- they get that? Oh well, we're gonna just give them like $40,000 back and stuff like that, but cuz it's actually putting us in paperwork, right?
Loose also claimed that Big U had supplied guns to the homies, but noted down the serial numbers for these guns as collateral.
Seen the get like 20 guns, and when he got 20 guns, he's selling them to the homies, but I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers? So it's like he was doing like like that, and I didn't catch on. So it was like I'm waking up now. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm his right hand man. You get what I'm saying? So when it came down to like dirt and stuff like that, I'm gonna get it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Ultimately, it would seem that Loose Cannon's fallout with Big U was a big contributor to his downfall, as Loose would go on podcasts and lives on his own social media and speak openly about illegal things that he had done under Big U's leadership. Another crazy situation that emerged in the criminal complaint and on a podcast was an apparent run-in with the rapper Meek Mill, where Loose and other 6'0s had allegedly grabbed hold of Meek at a venue and threatened to kill him unless Rick Ross, Meek Mill's label boss, gave them $50,000, which was apparently paid up.
I heard Wack on the interview talking about what I did to Meek Mills.
Wait, you did something to Meek Mill?
Oh, Lord.
It said y'all was trying to kidnap him. No, that's cap. There was a Big U portion of it.
Yeah. So basically, Meek Mills was talking real reckless on Twitter and stuff like that. So
talking reckless.
Doing
it now.
Yeah, so we caught him at the club where he was performing at. As soon as he walked in or whatever, all the security that was with him, they spent around and grabbed Cubs. Get on the phone with Ross.
Honey, all right, that's enough now. We're not going to tell all the details.
No, we got to hear this one.
I said, get on the phone with Ross.
This one going to go viral. What?
Get on the phone with Ross, neighborhood Crips. So he got on the phone with Ross. I took on the phone with Ross.
Wait.
Because we needed that bag. Because
he owed y'all money?
No, he didn't owe no money. We took the money.
Oh, this was some extortion? Oh,
not extortion.
Ken, all right.
See, yeah, we don't want to.
See, I might have to probably bail him out after this interview.
We don't want to.
No. We would just say Meek Mill stench on him. It's fine. Meek ain't gonna tell.
Look, we don't want to get the extortion part. It was just a business transaction. You get
how much I charge him?
50. That's it.
50,000?
Yeah.
I hear Rose. Hey, look, I got this. You got this artist you pumping. You don't want this to get out. We need 50. He brought 52, Crenshaw, and 48. He brought that money. He brought it fast. And when he brought it, I hit Big Useless and said we on our way. Gave Meek Mills his stuff back and left.
Now, for the record, Meek Mill later denied this, and if one thing's clear, Loose Cannon is certainly somebody that will happily lie for clout. But Loose was seemingly so fresh out the streets, he didn't seem to realize that he shouldn't have been talking so openly about these crimes on podcasts. Combine this with the comments that he made about Nipsey Hussle's death and the subsequent cease and desist Big U sent to No Jumper, it was then emerging that Big U had a serious problem on his hands, as the inner workings of his street empire were now being aired out on podcasts for the whole world to hear. Apparently, as a result of a fallout between the two, Loose Cannon was now openly disrespecting Big U any opportunity that he had. But this wasn't just a spontaneous switching of sides. In actual fact, it seemed that Big U's downfall was orchestrated by one man, a former friend turned mortal enemy named Wack100, who after befriending Big U's former enforcer Loose Cannon would discover a shocking revelation that Big U might have been involved in a sloppy murder in Las Vegas, with Wack ultimately conspiring to drip feed the information to the public and Big U himself in order to accelerate the downfall of his former friend turned enemy. But Wack100 couldn't take all the credit, as the reality is the downfall of Big U was seemingly his own doing, as the 2025 criminal complaint would reveal just how dark and badly executed this alleged murder was. But despite this, it would be 4 years before anyone would learn the details, and by then it would be far too late for Big U to escape these serious charges.
I had a crazy idea. We were surprised that no one had done it before.
Success?
The extortion empire of the Big U enterprise was apparently just the tip of the iceberg when it came to the crimes committed by the alleged leader of the Rollin 60s. The 2025 criminal complaint would shockingly allege that Big U kidnapped and murdered a victim named as RW in response to disrespect from that individual, but the truth of that story is much darker than anyone could have possibly imagined. The young man in question was named Rayshawn Williams, a young football player who had personally been coached by Big U and was a close friend of his son, who went on to play for the LA Chargers in the NFL. Highlights of Rayshawn playing had circulated online when he was still a teen. Previously touted as a talented player to watch, his career was slowed by a knee injury that had him off the field for a whole season. He was apparently being courted by UCLA until his injury, and by 2018 he would officially no longer be on the team. Big U had reportedly not only coached Rayshawn in football growing up, but Rayshawn actually lived with Big U and his family for a brief period during high school, with Big U actually kicking him out after he stole a chain from his son and wore it to school. But despite the apparent brief fallout, Big U was allegedly still playing a supportive role in Rayshawn's life as he tried to find another career path following following his football injury, and it would seem that he decided to give music a try. Rapping under the name Young Judah, from May 2020, he would tease his upcoming musical debut in the form of an EP called Golden Dreams, which dropped in June 2020. Clearly an aspirational title, Rayshawn had high hopes for his rap career, continuing to tease his project as months went by. Unfortunately, his music wasn't really hitting. He would post snippets of songs that he had made on his IG, and things weren't exactly industry ready. In one song, he called himself Ray Hustle, an ironic reference to Big U's other murdered protege, Nipsey Hussle. As time went on, Rayshawn would post more snippets, and he seemed to be improving as a rapper song by song, even turning on the auto-tune and having a crack at making more emotional pain music. Despite not having success off music yet, Rayshawn was already living the high life, posting pictures of himself chilling in luxury properties. Curiously, he would make one post with a caption saying that some people think that he's rude. Anyway, he continued to experiment, dropping more snippets of music that he'd been working on, and showing himself in Las Vegas on numerous trips throughout 2020. But apparently behind the scenes, there was some kind of disagreement between Rayshawn and Big U, who had been apparently trying to help him get his music career going. Big U was apparently bankrolling Rayshawn's trips to a studio in Las Vegas to record music, but he was seemingly using his time in the wrong kind of ways. According to the criminal complaint, on January the 20th, 2021, Rayshawn allegedly recorded a diss song where he seemed to suggest that someone would get shot in the face over money, with feds making the suggestion that he was actually dissing Big U. It being believed that there was a dispute over Rayshawn wasting Big U's studio time and not making the most of the time that he had been gifted, with reports from another person involved in organizing the studio sessions that Rayshawn had been skipping out and having too much fun during a week where he was supposed to be making a song a day. The day after the alleged diss song, Rayshawn releases a different song as a snippet to his Instagram where he indeed seems to be dissing someone, rapping about how he doesn't need to hate someone he's disagreeing with, but he wishes them the best, and dismissing any criticism that they've made, saying how he doesn't hear it and they should say it with their chest, ending with a sly lyric saying that he's supporting his friends by buying all their merch, and dissing someone for being a snitch and saying how they would get killed for that. It's unclear if any of these lyrics were indeed intended as a sneak diss towards Big U, as he wasn't mentioned specifically. However, the Instagram post that included this song, eerily, was the only one on his page that Big U had liked publicly. It's highly possible that he perceived this as disrespect and was letting Rayshawn know that he had his eye on him. According to the criminal complaint, it's alleged that 2 days later, on January the 21st, interestingly, this being Big U's daughter's birthday, Big U and Vay, aka Robinson, drove from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, arriving at the studio unexpectedly, causing the studio security to be confused and ask a lot of questions. According to the later full indictment, Big U had gone there to confront Rayshawn about his lack of production during the allotted studio time, then later going to Rayshawn's Airbnb at 2 AM to ask him why he hadn't been at the studio the previous day and calling him out for disrespecting the Big U enterprise. The next day, on January the 24th, and into the night of the 25th, Big U was at a recording studio with Rayshawn and somebody else known only as Witness 2. Big U arrived at the studio around 7:04 PM, with Rayshawn arriving an hour or two later, recording a song from 11 PM until midnight, but clearly, whatever Rayshawn recorded or said didn't quite cut it for Big U, and things were about to get dark. Then, at 12:37 AM, Big U left the studio, apparently driving Rayshawn back to his Airbnb. During this journey, at 12:58 AM, Big U's phones were turned off. Interestingly, in a 2021 Drink Champs interview, Big U had mentioned how phone data makes it impossible to get away with crimes these days.
The unique thing is, because of the way we are right now, we'll never have these stories. Because the camera ain't gonna let it, the one on the street corner. The phone ain't gonna let it, the one that's telling everything. And it's just not, these stories will become what the mafia stories were.
But anyway, perhaps some kind of conversation on that ride between Rayshawn and Big U took a bad turn, leading U to make a decision to do something extreme. By 1:13 AM, Big U had pulled up to the spot where Rayshawn was staying, with Rayshawn spending 10 minutes gathering his belongings and returning to the car with a suitcase. Despite being scheduled to stay at the Airbnb another day, based on the details in the paperwork, Big U would drive with Rayshawn to a location on the I-15 highway. Allegedly, it was here that he would pull off the road, shooting Rayshawn dead.
Hey everyone, Sean here from the 2XKO team. And I'm Michael Sherman, Esports Director for 2XKO. With the year coming,
and dragging his body into a remote spot off the highway into the desert of Las Vegas near a landfill, with the later indictment showing an image of the crime scene where the body had been found with multiple gunshot wounds to the head. Investigators did test drives to prove that the drive to the location where the body was found matched the amount of time that it would have taken from the car departing from Rayshawn's B&B and then from the murder location to where Big U's phone was turned back on, and started reporting location data once again, which was around 2:15 AM. Within an hour of turning his phone back on, Big U returned to the recording studio covered in sweat, telling those there that he had just been to the gym. Interestingly, days later, Big U demanded the removal of all surveillance and recording equipment and evidence from the studio after he left, with detectives believing that the footage would have shown an altercation between Big U and Rayshawn that took place before the murder. In the early hours of the morning after the murder, according to the paperwork, Big U would leave Las Vegas for Los Angeles, with North Las Vegas Police Department agents discovering the body in the desert near the Apex landfill the following morning, with cops immediately theorizing that the murder had taken place right at the side of the I-15 roadway based on their discovery of blood and drag marks leading to where the body was found. A News 3 Las Vegas article would immediately report the news, telling the public how the police had received a call from a member of the public who found a body laying in a deserted area near Las Vegas and Clark Peterson Boulevard near the Apex. This is a barren and open desert space, which while deserted, doesn't seem like a place a body would be hard to miss out in the open in the daytime, but it's likely that Big U drove off this unmarked verge on the edge of the I-15 in the darkness of night, thinking that this would be a remote place to drag and leave the body, perhaps not realizing that this was right next to quite literally the largest and busiest landfill in the entire world, with Big U arriving back in Los Angeles an hour after the body was found in the Vegas desert. NLVPD would break the tragic news to Rayshawn's mother, who provided more backstory, telling them that Big U and Rayshawn were close and how he would usually call his mother weekly, but after the murder, the calls abruptly stopped, and Rayshawn's mother had apparently called Big U to confront him after the disappearance of her son, with Big U denying that he'd seen or heard from him. Big U even tried to cover his tracks by replying to an Instagram DM from Rayshawn the day after the murder, but nothing happened for 2 years it would seem, and what's really fascinating is that Big U was right back to business after this alleged incident, arriving back to Los Angeles and beginning to promote his upcoming documentary, Hip Hop Uncovered, due to be released in a matter of weeks on FX. Meanwhile, the Crenshaw High football Instagram page would announce the death of their former wide.
I think it's like 30, 40 more minutes of this, but I'm gonna have to cut this short in a second. I'm gonna let this little part play out, but we're gonna end it early.
Receiver Rayshawn Williams. His teammates would pay tribute to him in their Twitters, but curiously, Big U didn't once acknowledge the death of this young man who had been so close to him and his family for years. Weirdly, Big U never acknowledged this death of someone so close to him, but when Gilly's son Cheese was killed, he made a heartfelt post on the Unique Music account pleading, "Why are we
Who Fantasy Bambi? Who had to know if that Wack was working? If he was using cops for whatever reason? Who are you talking about? Who are you referring to? Big U or somebody else? Because Big U knew he was working. So who are you talking about?
losing our sons to the streets?" But then again, this could have been trolling, as Big U in the 60s were rumored to have robbed Gilly and his son years earlier, and U would post other tributes to other deceased youngsters that his friends had lost, but curiously, nothing about Rayshawn. But as the days went on, Big U would continue to promote his upcoming FX documentary. He was enjoying his newfound fame, posting a clip of himself getting lint rolled by the wardrobe department, showing the world that he was now a superstar 60.
You did it before? Go ahead. I'm a hug you. They're about to put a Sephora in the 60s.
Over here, get over here.
On February the 8th, he would post a cryptic message saying that nobody cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining. After this, Big U would take to Instagram again to celebrate a billboard for his show placed on Sunset Boulevard, even pulling up to the scene to make a video saying that people are saying that they should stay away from Big U.
Trick. What? They say stay away from Big U, cuz.
Yeah, I think they said that because Wack was Luce's target. So yeah, that's true. Luce Cannon, yeah, he knew he was working because he was assigned to Wack100. I think when Wack say that Luce Cannon was sent to line him up, I think that's true. You know what I'm saying? Luce was assigned to him to line him up because Luce had a handler. You know what I mean? And the target was Wack, and they were setting him up with that no jumper incident, I think. But who knows, man? Who really knows?
They lying, cause look, Big U got us on the billboard on Sunset. Sunset. He on Sunset. You see that? All up in that mic. You see that say, Bang!
Big U was laughing at his haters and seemingly sneaking a shot at Nipsey Hussle, saying that the marathon continues.
The marathon continues, goddammit.
This was the opposite of laying low. Big U was.
Why is that a shot? Why do people keep saying that Big U was taking shots at Nipsey? Why? Where is that coming from?
Soaking up the spotlight despite allegedly killing a close family friend less than a month before this, and the spotlight would shine brighter when eventually Hip Hop Uncovered would drop on February the 12th, 2021. Big U would tease part of the upcoming show, posting a clip where Wiz Khalifa described him as the Godfather and claiming that you can't do anything in rap without Big U being consulted.
If I was to describe Big U's role in rap, he would definitely be the Godfather. Can't do nothing without consulting him. He's the only guy who does move how he moves.
He was involved with Nipsey. He had a relationship with Death Row. People from certain neighborhoods' names would ring bells in his name
was ringing a lot of bells.
You was at the top of the game within just weeks of this alleged murder, and now his story was being broadcast to millions of people on television. Hip Hop Uncovered would break down the life story of Big U in selective detail. It would include interesting tidbits, like a segment where he said that if he doesn't answer the phone, it can mean somebody dies.
People don't understand that sometimes if I don't answer the phone, it could be death for somebody else.
One of Big U's closest confidants and future co-defendant Bearclaw would even congratulate him on Instagram with a caption saying, "When you sit down and put your mind to it, anything is possible." But clearly behind the scenes, there was pressure on Big U. He would make a post at the start of March, seemingly angry about people coming to him with negative questions and saying that he wants people to keep him out of silly stuff, notably with the comments turned off. He'd post more cryptic statements to Instagram, like this one that says that he respects any man who can heal a heart that he didn't break and raise a child that he didn't make. Perhaps a coded admission of failure, alluding to efforts to help Ray Sean with his football coaching and a rap career that ultimately he didn't have the patience to complete. The later criminal complaint would recount a recorded conversation where Big U allegedly seemed to allude to killing a kid who disrespected him and calling out people who thought he was retired. Ultimately, Big U might have just made the biggest mistake of his life, but it would be years before people truly found out all the sordid details of this deadly case. And in those years, not only did more extortion and pressing take place, but the chaos of LA streets would find its way to the podcast world, culminating in a dramatic downfall as several high-profile social media figures slowly pieced together the details of this murder and aired it out on podcasts for the whole world to hear, until finally the feds stepped in and brought things to an explosive end. Ultimately, the feds were on Big U for several years before they finally closed in, and he no doubt knew something bad was coming. On the 2-year anniversary of Ray Sean Williams' murder, North Las Vegas Police Department agents visited Big U's home, but he wasn't there. His wife then called him on his father's phone to warn him, with Big U sounding notably shaken, and then opting to stay away from home for a couple of weeks, something apparently out of the ordinary for his usual routine. Apparently the cops and the FBI tried to contact a number of people involved in the case, and every time Big U was one step ahead, even tampering with witnesses and attempting to make sure their statements were not incriminating. Big U was being surveilled heavily in the lead up to the arrests. The criminal complaint would break down details of all the times that Big U was recorded, bragging about using violence and fear to control his communities. And he would seemingly be pulled over and served a warrant for his DNA sample in the summer of 2023. In the lead up to the arrest, as 600 and Wack begun circulating the rumors of this case getting serious, Big U took to social media to say that the allegations were untrue and that people blame Big U for everything, alluding to new rumors that he was involved in the murder of Fats, Nipsey's best friend.
Don't worry about this, man. Y'all gotta understand, man. People gonna talk. These lanes make money off of using Big U name. Right. One thing is for certain, right? Everything they say, Big U did it, man. They got me doing so much. I don't even know what. I don't even know what I'm talking. Then I didn't do it.
Got you a whole bunch of different places at one time.
At one time. They say, y'all. You know, it's another new one too. I got into it with Fats. Let me give y'all the information on it. I ain't never got into it with Fats. Fats is my little homeboy. Ever in my life, me and Fats ever got into it with nobody. Never. Ever. You really stupid and you really the biggest selling name on the West Coast, you gotta say Big U name. You wanna sell something, Big U. They wanna do something, Big U. They wanna do Big U. Big U. Y'all don't get that yet?
But it was on the 17th of March 2025 when the music would finally stop and the feds would close in on Big U and the Rollin' 60s. A huge 107-page criminal complaint would be filed outlining the sordid details of Big U's alleged criminal empire that had terrorized LA for years, and 2 days later, arrests would be taking place. The operation, called Operation Drawdown, no doubt titled to make a tongue-in-cheek reference to the downfall of Draws, aka Big U, was announced by the LA District Attorney and the FBI in a press conference that described Big U as a career criminal.
Today, we're here to announce federal criminal charges against Eugene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U, who used his contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, and a youth charity to further his own criminal enterprise. An enterprise engaged in murder, extortion, robbery, COVID fraud. Henley engaged in a murder of a musician signed to his label in 2021 and dumped the victim's body in Las Vegas off of the I-15 freeway. He then attempted to evade and obstruct the investigation into the murder, including ordering witnesses not to speak with law enforcement.
The DA would even reveal that they had been following Big U's podcast activities as part of the investigation.
Here, as I said, Mr. Henley is a widely known leader within the Rollin' 60s. He rose to prominence in that gang decades ago, and he has since been a fixture on the internet, talk shows, and podcasts. All things that law enforcement have looked at closely as part of this investigation.
The criminal complaint was surprisingly comprehensive and revealed that the feds had been looking into the case since February 2021, just a week after the murder of Rayshawn Williams, describing Big U as the leader of the Roland 60s Crips, running it as a mafia-like organization. It used wiretaps, planted cameras, cell site information, as well as search warrants of social media, iCloud and Google accounts, and financial records belonging to those involved in the alleged conspiracy, even using undercover agents to buy guns and drugs from people involved in the conspiracy. Big U, Loose Cannon, and even Brick Baby, who wasn't even named as a defendant in the complaint, had their phones tapped by the feds, and hidden cameras and bugged microphones were even planted at locations that they were known to visit. The criminal complaint even claimed that Big U and the gang were using podcasts and online documentaries, as well as interviews to make the public fear the Big U enterprise. Shout out to the FBI agent that's getting paid to watch this one. Thank you for your service. And the feds would even directly cite comments made on the No Jumper podcast as evidence. It was also stated that while Brick Baby wasn't a main defendant in the Operation Drawdown, he had a separate sealed indictment pending for a different case. Brick Baby's indictment revealed 2 counts for illegally having guns and bullets, one of these incidents allegedly taking place on the 12th of June 2022, when Brick would reportedly shoot a 9mm handgun in the parking lot of a business, with a second incident taking place on the 23rd of June 2023, when Brick would be arrested by the LAPD, who allegedly found him with 3 guns and more than 130 bullets, and since some weapons and ammunition may have come out of state, this immediately triggered federal charges. The paperwork would also show Brick's earlier criminal history at the time of this arrest, ranging from 2010 to 2020, including reckless evading, 2 counts of possession of controlled substances, criminal threats, and robbery. Hey, who said Brick ain't got a rap sheet, huh? And while Brick would not be charged on the Big U RICO case, the feds would note that Brick's case may be related, as it arises out of the same conspiracy. It would be revealed in news reports that hundreds of agents had executed simultaneous arrests targeting 19 defendants identified in the case.
Now, this morning, hundreds of agents and officers, including multiple SWAT teams, executed multiple arrest warrants for many of the 19 defendants charged in this case. Search warrants were executed at 6 locations. Those searches continue to be underway. 4 of the 19 defendants were already in custody, and 10 defendants were taken into custody in the last 24 hours. And while we're still seeking the whereabouts of 5 individuals, 3 of whom we believe we will have in custody shortly, 2 defendants are considered fugitives.
Approximately 10 defendants were arrested, including Loose Cannon and Brick Baby, with footage of Loose's arrest being filmed by his wife circulating online. But interestingly, at the press conference, it was announced that Big U was a fugitive and was still at large, despite the criminal complaint and pending charges.
Mr. Henley is a fugitive, and he is currently wanted by federal law enforcement.
The news would continue to report on the arrest, proudly showing collages of those targeted. Big U had been on the run and released a statement saying that he was with his family and planning to turn himself in, as well as suggesting that the case against him wasn't true and that he was just being hunted for helping black people.
This is my last video before I turn myself in. I'm with my family. Talk to my sons, I talk to everybody, man. I'm just saying, going to deal with this fight, see what it is.
Got in a car accident? Don't call a lawyer. Use this free AI tool instead. That's how I walked away with $93,000 from what they call.
I just want y'all to know, all this stuff is quagmire. It's all, I just need y'all prayers. I need y'all to, I don't even know what to say. Now, 21 years, I've elevated my family, come back, being right and do what I need to do until I can come back home. People are supposed to help me, I hope you help me. If you can't, you don't worry about it. A lot of stuff y'all hearing is straight trash. And I appreciate the love and I appreciate the people who've been helping me. I don't know. It's hard helping black people and not being hunted for doing it.
First Street, it might be to, I don't know if it's to the right or the left.
Reach out to anybody who can help me, y'all.
You hear me?
Help my own family. Appreciate y'all.
Big U would then take to social media once again to elaborate further on his feelings, firstly denying stealing money from developing options and claiming that the money he took was simply a salary that he used to pay his bills and feed his family.
I'm looking at this video as I come in to turn myself in, and I'm disheartened by the fact that they trying to say that I stole something from Developing Option, or I used Developing Option for some front. Developing Option paid my bills. They paid my house note. They paid the bills for my family, the money I made from as an employee for Developing Option. I never mixed that with nothing. I didn't manipulate nobody. I didn't steal nothing. We did PPP loans. We did 2 loans. And that's it, just like everybody else did. I didn't use no fraud. I didn't give none of no fake names. And one of them we was paying back and one they forgave. You know what I mean? And the other one we attempted for and they didn't give us nothing for it. I filed my taxes and them coming around telling me I was using Developing Option as a cover. Cover for what? None of that's going to be true.
He would go on to claim that of the over dozen co-defendants in the case, many he doesn't even talk to.
The government putting this big picture, they going to arrest 21 dudes. Some dudes I don't even talk to. I don't even know nothing about.
Big U sounded defeated in these clips and told followers to pray for him, reflecting on all his achievements that he had made over his last 21 years of freedom.
It is what it is. Church, just pray for me. Just pray for me, pray for my family. And you look at what we did. You look at what I did. I've been home 21 years. It ain't over though.
Big U would go on to say that he doesn't talk to any of the other people arrested and that the cops might as well arrest 600 and Wack since they're including his so-called enemies.
And then I'm looking at the people they arrested. How you gonna go arrest people that I don't even talk to? Everybody know I don't with Cannon. Everybody know I don't with Brick Baby. So if you want to arrest certain dudes, and put them next to me, them is the dudes you gonna have that call themselves turning against me. Well, ain't no turning against me. You might as well go get 600 and Wack.
Big U even accused 600 of waiting outside of his house with the police to watch the raid, a response to the fact that he'd reposted footage from the raid on his socials.
One of us, it ain't nobody safe with these dudes. If these dudes feel they want you, how they going around talking about somebody's gonna raid my house before my house get raided? How they there with the police? 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house. He's actually got video and footage of it. So y'all know what y'all dealing with. And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, they was asking about Wack. Wack, loose cannon, 600, and this internet stuff.
Elsewhere, Big U would also suggest that whoever takes his spot as the leader of the 60s community movement must be working with Wack100 to take that spot.
But y'all gonna be rolling with these dudes. And I got this last thing to say. Wack said he was gonna destroy Developing Option, right? So who gonna replace Developing Option? Which one of you in the 60s gonna call yourself coming in? Because whoever try to come in, y'all the ones that's working with Wack.
I trust.
Believe that. So remove me to get me out the way for somebody else to come in who gonna cooperate. That's what the play is.
Big U went on to blame Wack for working with the FBI to try and take away his government funding.
100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. The FBI went to the city 3 days in a row and told the city they didn't want nobody to give me no more money. They went to all the different celebrities and told all the different celebrities, don't give me no money, don't help me, don't do nothing for me. They going around scaring and intimidating everybody.
Now, Big U calling out people shutting him down and saying they were scaring and intimidating people was pretty hypocritical. But from here, he would continue to pull the race card and claim that the FBI are trying to shut down black men doing right by their communities.
Trouble. Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community. I ain't been nothing but a help to our community. But I guess it is what it is. This the price of being black and trying to help somebody, trying to help your community and do what you can. You're just guilty because somebody else don't like you and they go on the internet and do what they want to and y'all gonna promote it. It's crazy.
Now, it's this sort of thing that made Big U so dangerous, allegedly harming his own community under the guise of helping it and then hiding behind the race card when accountability came knocking. But ultimately, the facade had now been destroyed. The news would report on Big U going into FBI custody.
So I guess we just, he's guilty in the eyes of public opinion by Trap LaRosse. He's just guilty. Everything that's been alleged or accused, he's guilty. He was out here being a hindrance and tearing down. Never mind them countless kids that he sent to college and to the NFL. And every year helping families out to make sure that they had school supplies and clothes. All that right there, that wasn't doing for his community. He was terrorized. Show the proof of where he was out here terrorizing the community. Can you please show us that? It's a whole lot of talking, but I don't see no action. Where's the footage? There's cameras everywhere. Show us that. You wrong for that, Traveler Ross.
Describing him like a mob boss.
With breaking news, this just in, the FBI says that South LA crime boss Eugene Big U Henley is now in custody. Authorities say he ran a mafia-like organization while masquerading as a music mogul and gang peacemaker.
Some would report that the DA handling the case.
He just out here he automatically guilty because that's what these people are. And you know what's so fucked up about that? Traveler Ross know that these people lie and manipulate information. He know that they just flat out lie and put out whatever any false narrative that they can to make their narrative stick. And he gonna put that bullshit and say that in that part, in the end of that video. Boy, you's a foul piece of shit. That's what I'm saying. Motherfuckers like him are just exploiting our community. That's all they are doing. They are pillaging. They ain't giving nothing back, and they don't give a shit about it. But motherfuckers like Big U said, you motherfuckers gonna click on it, and you motherfuckers gonna support it. Send him money and big him up and share his shit. Yeah, I'm reacting to it, and I hate the fact that I had to react to the shit. But somebody gotta. It's checks and balances in this shit. I stand on the side of checks and balances. This nigga's full of shit.
Case was looking at connections between Big U and Nipsey's murder as well. All this crazy news sent the podcast media space into a frenzy. A No Jumper News episode discussing the latest news went mega viral, reaching over 15,000 live viewers and racking up hundreds of thousands of views. Funnily enough, during a segment on the show while Wack100 was calling in, the full criminal complaint dropped online. I actually read this immediately and even sent Adam22 a number of screenshots of details that related to No Jumper and his podcast shows, including the show with Wack, as well as the section about Wack being confronted by the Rolling 60s at the show at the Novo. In response to this, Big U's nephew, Tiny Draws, would post about the podcast saying that those people don't do anything for their communities and are snitches. The news sparked a raucous debate which went far beyond the walls of No Jumper. On social media, an apparent public hit was put on Christopher Lovejoy and Loose Cannon, and Wack100 would claim that Brick and Big U were named in a sealed court file tied to a case against the New Jersey Rolling 60s, a case that led to the battle rapper Sue Surf being sentenced to 5 years in prison.
In Jersey.
What did Brick ever have to do with them? You think Brick is in some way complicit
Big U
with that?
too.
After all the dreaming,
He had a seal file, the exposers, Prince, Lavish, pulled it up, we tracked the case number back to Sue Surf now.
So niggas can just go out there and pull niggas seal files now? I don't know if people really listen to what the fuck this nigga be saying. So you saying that you had access to pulling this, only a federal, I don't even think a federal, you got to get a judge to sign off on some shit like that. So how did you get access? How did you and the exposers get access to this nigga's seal file? To even know he got a seal file? How does that work? What's the point of it being sealed? If you can just easily find that it's there. Even if you can't look in it, it's easy for you to find that it's even there. Interesting to me.
First we thought it was some dirt. It's not dirt. He got a seal file, dope case, New Jersey. It's the same indictment.
It is.
Sue Surf now.
Yeah.
I know it is.
On the 26th of March 2025, a full indictment would be returned from a California grand jury, which formally charged Big U, Vay, Bearclaw, Loose Cannon, and 2 others with a litany of crimes. This reiterated the claims made in the prior criminal complaint, as well as provided several new...
That's how he knew about this shit. Bearclaw, all them niggas, them 60 niggas that Wack flipped, That's how he knew all the information, what was going on in that case.
New key details and pieces of evidence that gave more insights into the alleged crimes committed, like pictures of the scene where Rayshawn Williams' body was found, or interesting details like the fact that Big U left the subpoena and a baseball hat associated with the Rolling 60s behind for the feds to find after they raided his home, and that Big U's social media messages while on the run were now being included as overt acts as part of the racketeering conspiracy. Sadly, it's not looking good for the Rolling 60 neighborhood Crips, especially Big U. In conclusion, it seems that Big U was perhaps one of the most infamous and feared Crips in LA history. No doubt he truly did run Los Angeles in a sense. Nothing could happen in the streets without him having a say, and if the indictment is to be believed, this was truly a dangerous man, willing and ready to kill at the slightest violation, a predator, preying on the weak and extorting those who were scared of his reputation with threats of violence that the whole city knew he was willing to follow through on. But really, this...
Alright, that's it. This shit here, that's it, bro. That's crazy. This shit here, these niggas is dangerous, man. Oh my God, this shit is dangerous, man. That shit is dangerous. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. That is unreal. And he ain't even been to court yet. He hasn't even been to court yet. He already been convicted. He's already convicted and found guilty in the eye of public opinion. No innocent till proven guilty. That's out the window. This shit scary. It's just scary times, bro. Scary, scary times. They have finally figured out how to weaponize the media on all levels. Man, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I got to go. It's too much. I appreciate everybody that did pull up and watch this. To the ones that will watch this when it's over and then go back out. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for supporting me, man. I just seen this pop up and I said, let me check it out. I didn't know if he was going to be doing it in a tasteful way or a tasteless way. This was tasteless, and he waited to the very end to get nasty with it. Clever little fuck face. Now stand on the media though. Let's go.
Said what you said. If you mean what you said, then stand on it. Stand on it. Stand on it. Stand on it. You said what you said. If you mean what you said, then stand on it. Stand on it. Stand on it. Stand on it. Media, we make you stand on it. We tell the truth because it's a demand for it. You know the business. I might even ran for it. They called him the press before he even ran through it. You said what you said. If you mean what you said, stand on it. Stand on it. Stand on it. You said what you said. If you mean what you said, stand on it. 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 Stand on it.